a round that you have no business winning, and you steal it away. It gives you the confidence to now build up your own economy.
Halo semuanya, balik lagi bersama gua Iskandar sini Ridwan. Jadi hari ini kita watch party grand final ya guys. VCT Master Shanghai antara tim HERETICS menghadapi GEN.G. Siapa nih yang bakal juara guys? Sorry agak telat ya guys ya. Ini 12-6 nih. Untung belum selesai.
Over the top, they've been caught once more. Oh, but it seems like they're happy to take that fight, happy to get caught with them. Now the drone over the top from Bagi. Patek still trying to hold the line with Rian's over his shoulder. Now you're gonna have to deal with that again. An opportunistic swing up from Patek, and he pays for it with his life. Now the Hunter's Fury, Rian's will fall too. Boo and Benji Fishy left alive to try to convert this, and Boo's making a run at it. They've invested the neural theft. They've gotten info, they've gotten the pit out, and they're gonna rotate away.
And just Munchkin staying right here. Heretics have to keep one player there. That's why you see Boo just stuck. Like he's in mud. And now a late lurk that can be a thorn in the side of Heretics. Benji Fishy, he's wrapping around himself.
He might catch a timing here. All of his utility is still up, but it seems like they've managed to navigate the landmines and get to the other side. So Boo and Benji Fishy with a borderline impossible task put in their laps. But they're so weak. There's got to be a really nice timing up for Munchkin. What in the world? How did Benji Fishy hit that? Boo's going to have to 1v2 here. He's got a Phantom in hand, but time is so short. He's got to go, and he's got to go now. One away from the pit, spots the first, understands where the second is, but he can't drop either. Breeze goes the way of Gen.G. Yeah, Heretics put up a fight. Yeah, they made it interesting at the end, but Gen.G able to slam the door, able to keep the lead in this best of 5. Icebox on the other side of this. We'll see you guys there.
GEN.G kayaknya sih juara ya guys ya.
Not sure what sensitivity you perform best with? Are you constantly changing your sensitivity because you're missing? Introducing the Universal Sensitivity Finder in AIM Labs. Get real-time sensitivity recommendations. Keep track of the sensitivities you perform best with, then bring it into your next ranked game and dominate. Now available in AIM Labs Plus.
Diminum dulu ya guys ya.
to help with some translation. Solo, congratulations on that first map. Now, I wanted to know, there's a lot of talk about the mental preparation of Gen.G coming into this grand finals. How has the mentality of the team changed?
감독님, 이번 대회 때 특히나 멘탈적인 부분을 많이 강조하셨는데 감독님 보시기에 선수들의 멘탈적인 부분이 훨씬 더 강해진 것 같나요?
사실 저희가 그 부분에 있어서 얘기를 많이 하다 보니까 확실히 좀 더 생각 나가는 것 같고 더 강해지게 된 것 같아요. 네.
It's something that we constantly talk about and put a lot of time into. We're very conscious about having a strong mentality, being able to reset our mentality. So because of that, I think we're very aware of the mental state that we're in and also have a strong mentality.
Thank you very much for your time. Let's see if Gen.G can manage to close out Icebox this time.
A strong mentality and also a strong start here for Gen.G in the grand finals. I'm Ying Sun right back here once again with Josh, RT, Kakuka and Mimi. We don't see Gen.G winning the first map all that often, so perhaps the work they've been putting into their getting a better even mentality has really paid off.
But this is what we expected, at least from my side on Breeze, right? Like especially that first half, they knew everything to a T. The rotations were very quick coming in from Meteor, and maybe Heretics was just not really prepared to play against this composition and this map in general.
I'm glad you mentioned Meteor because here he is in the Verizon high-speed moment for the day. Mimi, he was getting so many first kills as well.
Yeah, Meteor has always been pretty incredible on the defensive side on this map, and in others when he's playing the Killjoy too. I was super impressed with how Gen.G was playing around these constant B execs that Team Heretics was pulling out. I think they do a great job of finding that gap in the execute and even going for like really surprising forward plays like Meteor does in this round to get an advantage even when that B side is the weaker side, which I feel like makes them pretty tough to play against, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, but Heretics ran into a brick wall of like a really strong two-man site hold, and their rotation would come in just to affect the play a little bit, and that's the story of their defense.
Yeah, and it's a map that, I mean, a lot of us thought that Gen.G would take, but fortunately for Heretics, Icebox is up next. Before we jump into that map, let's take a look at the AIM Lab shoot-around. Here is Wood. Didn't really quite come online just yet, but plenty of opportunities for him to do so as we head on to Icebox.
Oh yeah, exactly. I think that Icebox is a map where he feels extremely comfortable. Yes, to me, probably for them, this was just a little bit of a warm-up. It's something that they knew would happen, and they didn't expect much because of the preparation, but an Icebox, it has to be something different, right? I also think that the perspective in which the teams look at the map is a bit different. Heretics just loves to play for that retake. On the other side, we have a Gen.G that will go to that early aggression, a little bit to what we have been seeing on Breeze, right? Because actually, it was the fact that Heretics could not get the spike down, one of the reasons why they were able to get so many rounds.
Well, we heard from Coach Solo already, so let's hear what Coach Neil Zenio had to say ahead of Icebox.
I'm here right now with Neil Zenio of Team Heretics. Neil Zenio, I'm really curious, what do you think went wrong in that first map, and how are you going to ensure it doesn't carry over to the next one?
I think for me it's quite simple. We haven't had that many reps on the map, especially with this roster. That definitely played a part in it, but for me and what we spoke about in there was like our fundamentals just kind of went out the window. We got lost in the occasion, I think, a little bit, and we just didn't do the basics right. We weren't communicating, we were taking 1v1 fights everywhere around the map. And I think in the end, we started waking up a little bit, but it was just too little too late. So we just calmed down, we reset, and now it's our map. So this is it, like it's make or break. We need to get back into the game, and that's what the boys are going to do.
All right, excited to see it. Let's see if Team Heretics can make a comeback.
I mean, you've heard the man, they just haven't had that many reps on Breeze, but Josh, you faced Heretics a few times, you've seen their Icebox. What do you think they need to do to bring this series back?
I think they have to enable Woot a little bit. Icebox is a very strong jet map, but also for texture too. I think the main things you have to look out for is actually their initiator differences here. I believe they're running against a Gecko KO, and they have a Sova on their side. I would pay attention to how Gen.G is making their opens to see if texture gets a pick, or Woot is able to find the gaps in their utility to see if he can get a pick. Okay.
Yeah. I think also for Gen.G, when they're starting on this defensive side, something that they do really well is kind of proactive defense, setting Texture up for a lot of these forward fights, especially towards A and B main. They'll wait for that first cycle of use, they'll say that Silver Drone to come out and find these really good timings to re-clear with that double flash combo and Texture going forward. Team Heretics is going to have to be ready for that.
My eyes go directly into Lakia. He had a brilliant icebox last time that we saw them play it, but we know the Heretics. This is a map that they've been very, very comfortable, played it throughout the tournament 4 times. They've won every single one of them, even though some of them even went to overtime.
I think Gen.G's style is like very much a flood defense, but also like I said, they'll find those double flash moments to try to catch you off guard. I just want to see how Heretics was able to deal with this.
Well, as you heard it from Neil, this is it, do or die. If they don't win it here, Doug and Baby Bay, they're going to be 2-0 down in this very important grand final.
And what a dreadful nightmare that would be, but I think Kakuka set the stage for what should be a much more competitive map. Heretics have played Icebox so many times this tournament, and they have found success every step of the way. So yes, Breeze was a slaughter, and the score does not reflect how bad of a beating that was, but there was a little bit at the end there to cause some sort of excitement, and I think it all falls down on Woot. He took over the last time he played Icebox. He's got to deliver again.
Yeah, he's got that iconic clip that I mentioned earlier in the series on this map with the Jet. And he does a really good job of being able to finesse around these chokes and get a lot of things done, especially on the attacking side when he entries in, especially towards yellow.
Oh, he's getting active again.
Gimana?
Trying to get ahead of things. But Woot's the one who walks away with 2.
Speak of the devil.
That's as good a start as you could ask for. It seemed like Gen.G wanted to stop the momentum before Heretics could get to a fever pitch, to get to a swelling point. And of course, it's Woot who's able to cash in.
Proactivity punished, and that's a good sign for Heretics going into this Icebox map, because if you're already denying Gen.G that early aggression, it's going to make them play a little differently. And when you take players off of their game, I mean, that's when mistakes are made. That's when you have an opportunity to maximize on those mistakes.
You can tell for Gen.G there, the objective was not just necessarily to win the pistol, but it was to make a statement, because Breeze wasn't enough. But well handled by Heretics. Now they're going to flip the map, head back A, undetected by the turret. They've got one of their own. Benji Fishy's posted his up, but Karen's on the prowl.
Is he going to smoke it off? I don't think he has a smoke available to do so.
Yeah.
But that knife landing, that opens up the window of opportunity for the flank. Decides to not go for it, though.
Yeah, decides to go back mid and try to approach things from a more conventional manner. Meteor trying to post up sight. The dart is cleared. Woot is dead. A little bit more found for Meteor, and Munchkin getting in on it, but Boo responds with 2. Karen, who was the late flank, converts for Gen.G.
Meteor, once more, the anchor that you could wish for. That molly. I mean, it cooked Woot up. Guy couldn't do anything. Yeah, he got the first 2 entries into the round, but when he dashed on his site, that Viper Wall decays you enough to let this molly get so much value. I mean, he had no chance to even swing. And then the second on top of it.
Last player standing.
Getting away with bloody murder. Karen so steady at the end there to secure the pistol round win.
Ada yang watch party nih.
Like it was all signs leading towards a Heretics win.
I mean, from the beginning all the way through, Texture again aggressive. I love the pace that Gen.G are playing this so far.
Yeah, even though they got punished on the pistol, when you secure a round like that, the confidence is back. Now you're willing to keep going for more. And Gen.G, they're reading into this. They're ahead of it, playing a bit of a retake setup on that A site. Boo!
Karen was the hero in the last round. He was the one who was able to secure it for Gen.G, but now sitting on the sideline, forced to watch, forced to wait. Texture's on the swing. The Marshal gets 2. And there's plenty more where that came from. But it's Meteor who takes one away. The spike hits the ground. Patatek and Riens will have to force this thing back, and they've gotten into a 2v2, but with Sheriff, so they're converting on this. Can Texture snatch this thing back? Can he avoid catastrophe early on? He's gotten 1. Riens with the dart. They know where he is. On the swing into the Marshal, connects the shots. The Red Bull clutch in the 4K for Texture.
Texture on fire with that Marshal.
Huh?
He'll upgrade to a Guardian on top of it. What shots. That's exactly what you want as a Jet player when you're playing Icebox. You just keep going for broke, hit the flicks. When you're this close range with that Marshal, you can just opt to no scope. He only had 1 in the chamber there at the end, but He was so confident in that shot, in his abilities.
Breeze, icebox, it does not matter. It's all the same. Texture will not be denied. And again, getting active. Again, looking to make a statement. Has to dash away with 25 HP. Thinks twice about the reaggress. I think part of the play was getting him involved there. Munchkin getting spotted by the drone. Has to give the space back, and Texture on the swing.
I mean, he's a madman. He's 25 HP doing that. He's stuck around for so long to support his teammate in Nest. And all of a sudden, a rifle swap. Now Munchkin, he has full HP. He's able to have that M4. Phantom.
These pugnacious protocols from Gen.G at the beginning of the round have been so smothering for Heretics. But yes, they're down in numbers. They have such a strong weapon advantage here, though. It's just the Phantom, it's just the Guardian on the side of the defense, like you were saying.
No way, right, Doug? No way.
No way. You're absolutely right, but Lakia filling in on the space behind it. Oh, surely you're not expecting a second there. Crispy from Karan. Lakia might be able to cause a lot more problems if the timing is right. We got a little bit of utility, but it does not look like it will go checked. It does not look like it will go detected as Rians falls. Committing to the plan now.
Yeah.
It's all on the move. Yeah, he hit another. Turns away the flash. He's getting spammed. Getting peppered. There's no way for Boo.
Hello, Naim-G.
Another round stolen away by Gen.G.
Doug, we are seeing a Gen.G that is so online and ready for this. They want it so bad. Karan there, getting the trade in market. And oh, this was that first kill. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Insta. The follow-up, Meteor, protecting the back and forth, and then
one enemy remaining.
Just no chance for Patatech there.
There hasn't really been a chance for Heretics at all. Down 0-3 early. His spy's not great. You've got a hero rifle for Woot and a couple of stingers and sheriffs around it. Do they try to go aggressive again? Do Gen.G try to set the line of scrimmage a little bit further up? Of course they will. See the flashes, see the darts. 410 is theirs.
They're just staying here. They do not care whatsoever.
He's expecting the swing, rocks the dash. And meanwhile, Karan over the top, getting the best of Woot. That was the hero rifle. That was supposed to be the firework in the round. Look at Texture's timing on the swing. And Lakia as well. Rian's able to get a little bit of something going on here, though. And they're all hunting. They all know he's there. Lakia's messing with him.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
They are different right now. This is a different Gen.G. We haven't seen this at all this tournament. They're running it down. Lakia jump swinging for his entire team. All 4 members are on top of the bomb right now.
Kamu gimana kabarnya?
Devices, but he really doesn't have much to work with here.
No, not at all. Still deals a little bit of damage onto Munchkin, but it's traded back. That Phantom is just getting the best of him. They didn't have the weaponry there. They didn't have the positioning. And honestly, given how Gen.G have played this, given how Texture just continues to answer the call for Gen.G, I don't know that the weapons would have necessarily mattered.
You're right, and the Des talked about it, that double flash re-clear setup that they do. This time it's not off the barrier. They think that they're pushing all the way up. That causes a reaction from a drone to come out. The knife gets a couple tags. Now we double flash. And it's just so hard to deal with because you can't turn. I mean, if you turn the KO flash, the Gecko flash is hitting you and vice versa. So it's just...
Kamu sekarang sibuknya lagi ngapain?
In the open like that. And more aggression. Texture is so aggressive this series. Oh, wow.
Siapa nih kira-kira yang gini bareng?
Able to stand strong.
That was so close.
A little bit of the aggression punished. The question is, how did Gen.G respond on that? Where do they play elsewhere on the map? Meteor's going to fall B, so they have now found success on both sides. Lakia, the one close by, who the orb was picked up. And now utility out. The flash over the top. The dart is there. Lakia able to stay covered behind the wall. You're not able to hide from that. You're not able to run from it. How much more can they do? They've gotten the spike down, but Munchkin and Karen are so outnumbered right now. Spam not connecting. Munchkin manages to get away.
And yeah, they're just going to go back, try to save that operator that got taken down early on for Texture in the next round.
Yeah.
Their economy is good, though, so maybe you'll see Munchkin try to go for a couple exits.
Lagi makan. Oh, lagi makan apa tuh?
Economy on the other side, I mean, he might not want to die at all because you might be feeding a KO ult, you might be feeding a Sova ult.
Yeah, you don't want to give those away.
Oh, he missed the jump for the up.
Makan sambil mampir ya, mantap.
Snag that
Last.
I don't know that you gotta hurry.
Don't miss. Oh,
kamu udah subscribe belum channelku?
Second time's the charm. He's able to grab the op.
Lu udah subscribe belum channel gua?
He can't be doing that on the new map, Doug. Might fall to his death.
Makan apa tuh? Kayaknya enak.
Again, the aggression from Texture has caused so many problems for Heretics, but Boo, a really nice spot to respond there.
Yeah, a good round for Heretics. Spam through the smoke from Boo. Kind of just secured it. No retake being able to be made for Gen.G.
Nasi goreng, wih, makan nasi goreng.
And the aggression continues.
Nasi goreng, apa tuh?
So bold, so disrespectful. Refusing to let Heretics find any traction.
Good.
And you don't expect the same peak twice. I mean, he got punished the last round. Why is he going for it again? That's what Heretics are thinking.
Because it's Texture. Munchkin getting overwhelmed there.
A little over-eager on that one.
Yeah, that aggression starting to punch them a little bit.
Target destroyed.
And I think if there's going to be a way back into this map for Heretics, it has to be off of those things. They have to find a way to punch back.
Yeah, you have to punish.
Things slow down here for Heretics. They've lost Woot. They've lost their star. They've lost their go. A counter on the Thrash and a counter on the Apu again. Veggie Fishy getting involved.
Gak nonton EVOS versus Onyx? Nanti udah ini. Ini dulu, soalnya duluan ini Grand Finalnya. VCT Master Shanghai, baru MPL yang Grand Final. Ini Grand Final juga soalnya.
And this is a textbook play from Tech specifically. When enemy teams have Thrash online, he'll use that KO ultimate to counteract it. This was that opening blow onto Woot. Really nice shot. But when he gets this kill onto Munchkin, it secures him that KO ult, denies the info being gathered from Lakia, and then they're able to just overwhelm everybody on the site.
Again, Heretics finding a little bit of success, and it's much earlier in the schedule compared to what we saw in Breeze. It's a little while before there was any cause for hope.
Nanti live lagi kok.
Yang
Onyx lawan EVOS kan, Grand Final.
Starting to bully and starting to invest utility to keep that aggression back from Texture, who's sitting on the opposite side of the map right now. The lockdown used. Heretics now have a question they have to answer, and they don't have a ton of time to answer. Do you choose to fight? Do you try to clear it, or do you take a step back?
And if you go the other way, which Gen.G, that's what they want you to do, you're going to run into Texture, but the double back from Heretics, it's a smart play so far from them.
Tim terkuat di Valo apa bang? Tim terkuat di Valo Paper Rex, ada Paper Rex, Gen.G, ini tim Heretics dari Eropa, terus apa lagi ya? Sentinels, itu dari Amerika, banyak lah yang lain-lain. Wow!
The lockdown will go off.
Wow, gila tembaknya itu. Kayak rusuh gitu, cok.
With op in hand and blades.
Gila.
In case he decides to invest. In case he decides to go for a play. They just don't have the same financial luxury they did before.
Yeah, and Heretics in these post-plant scenarios, they play it very disciplined. That's how they've been winning a lot of the matches they've done. Part of the fundamentals, part of that macro gameplay that I was talking about. And that's why you see Texture not even going for it. Had Heretics maybe pushed up a little bit and he got a kill, maybe that could be a window of opportunity. Pop those knives, go in. But they're not giving him anything.
Yeah, that 1v2 feels much easier to try to navigate.
Yeah. And it's a big contrast from the start of this match so far, Doug. Heretics, they were getting punished by that aggression from Gen.G. Now, they've slowed it down. They figured it out. Weathered the storm of all the utility and the swings on A side.
Bang, ada nggak tim dari Malaysia? Nggak tahu. Kalau dari Singapura, HERETICS.
He had such a good opportunity there to honestly secure the round. Yep. But sometimes the bullets, they just don't go the right way.
I mean, the roller coaster of emotions that this arena just went through was ridiculous. A timeout called from Gen.G.
Wow.
1 round separating these two.
Gila guys,
the
tembakannya loh.
that they were throwing into the face of Heretics round after round to kick off Icebox, you're right, has been a little bit weathered. They took it on the chin a couple of times, but now able to respond back, to stand strong, stalwart in their approach. And a lot of it has been, Dre, off of the utility that they're investing in kind. All of the darts and the drones to set up texture are now being responded by Rians doing a bit of his own, of Patatek getting some of that early info with his util.
And I'm so impressed with Heretics when they use the drone late, because they understand that Munchkin has been using that knife early on at A main. That gives them the window of opportunity to use a drone from a little bit closer up, not get picked off by anybody, like, you know, texture getting set up by flashes, etc. And the rest of the team now, they're just waiting a little bit back, letting that drone get all the info for them, and then they have the utility advantage, like you mentioned. There've been a lot of questionable fights from the side of Gen.G. A lot of solo swings. Munchkin going for right clicks through the Viper wall. If there's players on the receiving end of that, they do have a chance and they could mow them down. I mean, but Heretics, they're playing it very well right now.
Early dart cleared.
Oh.
Heretics are coming to life here. It's a very similar setup. It's been on texture to send a shutter down the spine of Heretics. Now he's the one sitting on the sidelines.
What can Lakia do?
It's so quiet right now. Do Gen.G continue to reaggress?
And if they do, Benji Fishy's playing anti. There's two players, even Rians.
Yeah.
He's playing anti.
Apakah bisa 4 sama?
He'll pop the Sobalt from all the way back here to catch out anybody in that lane of fighting.
Yeah, if they commit.
Yeah.
If they send. We've talked about how good this flash combo has been from Lakia and Munchkin. The knife giving things away.
I don't even think he meant to hit the knife there. I think it was for sight, but it works out in their benefit. It tagged both players. And that forces Gen.G to have to back up.
And Heretics will just continue to push forward off of that. They've got Boo with his pit, but he's a little bit further back. Knife clear, dart out, Heretics forward. It's just Munchkin who's playing backside. Lakia's a little bit further off, and he is the first to fall. Patatek with 3, Heretics with life. Flash on the swing around, another one spotted. Patatek more concerned with his positioning, more concerned with the problems he's able to cause from there. Still has a knife in hand. Median Karan forced to watch, forced to sit back. Because how do you get into a 2v4? And this is where the positioning was so good, but Karan's able to decapitate him. A 1-for-1 though, and now the Viper's the only one who stands. Tries to get away and can't. We're tied at 4.
4 sama.
Patatek's brilliance is shining through in this half. First the entry onto texture, then the follow-up, breaking the dagger. That's the cue to just run it down on sight. Split Munchkin there. The aggression from Patatek, the explosiveness. He even ran all the way to spawn. Let's go, Patsy. Let's go. Even his team knows it.
Let's go, bro. Let's go.
Aggression again, texture up high, blades online, looking for a scalp, and we'll find one. And again, the double dip. Can he take over the round? He's done so all series. He's found 2, and look at Lakia's position. He's got behind them. Boo never saw him, Boo never had a shot. But now position given away, and Lakia gladly takes the fight. Again, the aggression. Again, the offense. Rians, a miserable spot to be in.
Out of charges.
A 1v4, and yeah, it's pistols. But what a round win for Gen.G. in the face of the momentum that was swelling the way of the attack.
I mean, Gen.G force you to take fights that if you lose them, the round is just over. How many times have they pushed up and fought A?
I mean, it feels like every round.
Almost every single round at some point. Maybe different timings. This time with the knives. Usually it's Woot that we see going absolutely viral with him. This time, Texture taking things into his own hands, getting the 2 for the 3rd to secure the round. And now he's able to get another operator online. Gen.G are ridiculous.
Another kill found. Another line drawn in the sand.
Oh.
3 left on the side of the attack, and as soon as it starts, it feels like it's over. This response from Gen.G has been clinical. Fully committed to believing and trusting in the process. Yeah, they're going to be able to counter some of our aggression, but we're not backing down from the plan.
And that's so hard to do as a player, to keep that mental up.
I mean, it's human. It's human response.
Guys,
Human reaction to
beresin rumah
pivot,
dulu.
to go to plan B when plan A isn't working anymore. But when you've got a star like Texture,
full trust in the team, full trust in the game plan. You can reap the benefits of that. That's what we're seeing right now for Gen.G. They should be able to convert this round. I say that, but there is a Viper's Pit available for the side of Team Heretics. Boo, if he can get this one down, they might be able to maybe steal this one away and pull a fast one on Gen.G.
Maybe a 3v5 with Benji hitting mid-late, but...
Spike down B.
I just don't know that there was really any way in. A flawless round as Gen.G gets to 6.
Yeah, they tried to creep on up, try to get anything working for him. If they maybe got a trade there onto Munchkin, maybe there's a window of opportunity, but I mean, look at this right here. And he holds his ground. He stands tall like Maximus. So hard to play against a player that's disrespecting like that. It's usually Woot who we see doing things like that against other teams. But Woot right now, sitting at 3-9. Texture sitting at 13-5.
Oke, Naim G, waalaikumsalam. Thank you, udah mampir. Thank you. Ditunggu ya kedatangan.
By storm. I mean, the amount of clips he's been able to put together, the value he's been able to provide his team was ridiculous. There were questions coming into this tournament, right? There were questions coming into this match, excuse me, about who's the MVP, right? Is it Texture or is it Woot? Yeah, Woot arguably has had more clips because they've played more, but this doesn't look like a fair fight right now, Dre.
Yeah, Texture has been phenomenal. I mean, all tournament long, this team, they fought adversity. They buckled through. And they didn't drop a single series. So yeah, the dream, the mirage of Heretics and this crazy, crazy run that they had, I mean, they could still make it. But right now, it just feels like Gen.G are just in full control.
Yeah, the clock is ticking and the possibility of a fairy tale ending just continues to get smaller and smaller. Into round 11 we go, 2 rounds separating them. 3 ults on the side of Heretics. 4, excuse me, and they're big ones too. Gen.G, again, with aggression. It's a little bit different, the flavor's different, but the outcome's the same. There's nowhere that Heretics can find safety. There's nowhere that they can find room to breathe. They've been squelched, they've been suffocated, they've been stymied.
They're so willing to just leave Texture on an island by himself. He's been popping off all game long. It allows you to have a 4-man setup on A early on and allows Texture to just enable in the mid-round.
Heretics tries to switch position on the map. And again, the op you mentioned on the other side punishes, but they found a little bit of space here. But again, as soon as they find space, Dre, you're staring up a ridiculous mountain. Yeah, you got your one. Yeah, you got some space. It's still a 2v4. It's still a 3v5.
Let alone a Thrash invested on top of it. I mean, what can you do?
30 seconds left.
Boo with so many angles to cover, so many targets to find, so many things to consider. paranoid, tries to do what he can to fill the void. And there's the swing through the wall. Meteor, perhaps a little overambitious, perhaps a little aggressive, but it's still a song of success for Gen.G.
Playing together, peeking off one another. The synergy, the communication, it's all on point right now for Gen.G. You can tell by the gameplay. Catching players off guard, this little drop right here, no follow-up, no punish. But Karon, he's holding it the whole time. So yeah, HERETICS tries, the swing was a little late.
One enemy remaining.
Just too much to ask for.
Gen.G faced heartbreak in Madrid. So close, the glimpse of glory that you mentioned, but fell a bit short. This is a team that's playing with a different level of fire, a different level of ferocity. You've got the up over the top, HERETICS down again. The ults have been invested. HERETICS will join the fold once more. Once divided, now reunited. Gen.G try to hold the line, and if they try to flip back, if HERETICS try to find safe passage to the other side of the map, Meteor's there. He hasn't been as ridiculous on this map, but he was a terror on Breeze. This time, not given a shot, not finding value. Texture's able to pick off Foot, but they understand now. The veil has been lifted. The hit is A.
Full focus forward for HERETICS. Gen.G, they have a couple members here to answer back.
If they can get the pit down from Boo, if they can find a little bit of space, there's a shot at this. But Karon is one of his own.
Welcome to
now green on both sides.
Planted.
Such little to be seen.
You should run.
And now the third ult invested. Just injecting more chaos into the situation. What can tip the scales? What can find some space? Texture dropping into the pit, dropping into the next half. Bagi in a 1v3 with the pit still up, will fall. HERETICS gets his third as HERETICS get to 5.
Through all the calamity, it's HERETICS of all members, the stand-in, to be at the top and get another 3K to secure that last round. Beautiful reclear from Texture there, but HERETICS getting ahead right here. The deciding factor for this HERETICS squad.
Yeah.
He's won so many rounds for them in this half.
He was good on Breeze too. I mean, he was good on Breeze, he was good on HERETICS. A lot more fight out of those Niños in this second map of this best of 5, but the need to respond continues. We're gonna throw it down to the desk to break down that first half.
Thank you very much, Doug and Baby Bay. Much closer half this time around, and it just felt like HERETICS, they love going to that A site.
Yeah, they do. Time and time again, they were going to A. I mean, in the last few rounds, we saw them switching things up, but it literally looked like the win condition for them was dealing with Texture and that first opener that he was going after time and time again. Him and Lakia were hard defending this side, and as I'm saying, just one round after the other, they had to deal with the fact that they were probably going to be one man down.
Gen.G has really good, kind of varied looks on how they approach this A site. It's almost always going to be aggression at some point in the round. They have some rounds where they're going for the super early aggression, catching you off guard, and in other rounds they're waiting for this kind of mid-round timing and then getting in your face. And they have these really strong combos between that KO, between that Gecko, to get Texture these openers. He's been dominating in the first kill department thus far.
This is unfair, I feel like, for Wood, but as the site switches, Josh, what do HERETICS need to do? Because Texture's job seemed very, very simple. Do you think Wood just needs to replicate that?
Oh, for sure. Like, we need to get Woot online, and I think he can run the same kind of style that Texture was playing. He can be aggressive in the beginning, find a first blood, and then fall back, and play a little bit in that elbow area just to see if they can get another kill. But like, once he gets those first bloods, like, I feel like his confidence will come back.
The same. We need Rian's, we need HERETICS to be setting up Wood the same way that Lakia was helping Texture time and time again. If we want HERETICS to turn this around.
Yeah, and I want to see if they can win this pistol round as well. It's time to send it back to your casters, Doug and Baby Bay, and get the second half underway.
Thank you so much, Yunsu. HERETICS have given this crowd reason for hope as they closed things out and kept it competitive at the end of the first half, but it's not over yet. Still down 2 rounds. The ever pivotal pistol has to go their way. And now it's Gen.G, who again were so bellicose in the first half. Now it's on them, and they have a lot more room to be able to dictate the pace. A little bit of info gathered, but Perhaps a false sense of security. Where that other player might be. Flash over the top. Benji Fishy not on the swing. Texture false. That's a big one, Dre.
Who other? The man is still here. He's still firing.
Oh, you can run, but you can't hide. Locky will hunt you down. Meteor getting in on it as well. Again, a pistol that's so desperately needed to go the way of the defense. It's just ending in a whimper.
Even the plant that doesn't get seen from heaven. Small things like this. It's all going their way. They're aware of all the possibilities right now.
Last player standing.
Nice trading on the site from Munchkin. And that dagger does connect on a boost, so that's full info gathered from Gen.G.
I mean, he even tried stepping it. Just a little short on it. Now realizing there's no way to go but forward. There's no option but to fight. A 1v3 has become a 1v2. But Karn saves the day for Gen.G.
And when Gen.G sees something they like on the silent walk-ups that they do, yeah, they're still down numbers. They get close to you and they just explode and obliterate anything in their path. It's one of the hardest playstyles to play against. Because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you peek into them, they can punish you. If you don't, they can silently walk up and then just smother you on the actual site.
Yeah, and then punish you. Yeah,
Yep.
You're right.
It's so difficult to play against right now. Every team has tried to figure it out. And they just can't. But Boo can figure out how to take the head off of Texture with that Sheriff.
Remember, he died at the beginning of the previous round too.
Poor lad.
Problem with the buy for Heretics right now is there is none. So they have to be so much more concerned and so much more invested in moving as a pack. Strength in numbers.
That opening kill for Boo could open up the retake for them, though.
Here.
Kind of makes you scared on the attacker's side. You don't want to go back and have to re-clear all that A main. If you do, you might get picked off as well. An early tap here from Gen.G, trying to bait out any utility, but nobody from Heretics showing a single damn thing, Doug.
Patient. Trying to lure Gen.G into fully committing. Trying to have them step all the way into the trap before they strike.
And Meteor, he's re-cleared some space at A, but the time is running down low.
left.
If Gen.G connect, if they commit onto this B, I mean, they're gonna run into a bunch of conflict.
You got Benji Fishy who's holding mid as well, so if the plan is for Meteor to hit a late mid lurk, Benji Fishy would have been the problem, but he's the first to fall.
Bomb's not down.
13 seconds left. They've got to commit. They've got to find a way to stabilize. Cauterize the bleed and capitalize on the situation. They're so weak, Dre. But Locky on the swing. 21 HP, no bullets left. They've gotten the spike down. Rienz is there. Munchkin, 1 HP. Can he be the architect to save the round? Can he put the pieces together? Can he build another clutch moment? Rienz and Wu with crosshairs trained will drop him.
What a round for Team Heretics. The poise to just sit there and not get baited by the first tap. Pat Attack had that molly the entire time. Once the actual bomb gets planted, that's when the molly activates. And the time just runs too damn low.
Take a look at the MasterCard Thrifty one more time. It was all the way of Sheriffs.
Enemy remaining.
What a beautiful hold. We talked about how they were trying to bait them in, slowly lure them in, tantalizing them in. And as soon as they take one step too far, it's over. So now 2 rounds separating the two. Now it's on Gen.G to try to replicate some of the magic that Heretics just hit them with. Just pistols.
A good dink with the pistols onto Woot. He's gonna be forced back now, so that's some space gathered at B.
He's still been quiet. But Heretics are in this fight, in spite of that.
Yeah. He did get 2 kills in that last round, so maybe that is enough to be that spark, that fuse of lightning. As I say that, it's Texture to diff him again.
Woot looked like he had the fastest hands in the game this tournament. There's nobody who could stand to him. Nobody quicker on the draw. We're watching an entirely different player here. Heretics will try to hold them back, though. A lot on the shoulders of Patatek. Re-ents around the corner. And the cutting of noise. Force Heretics to think twice about this here. They've invested the Thrash. Re-ents will get tagged. Patatek up top. Can he find some space? Yes, he can. Only one kill found, though. How much more can he do? Not much. He will fall. They can't settle the shots. The Sheriffs again are a problem. Boo in a 1v3. Munchkin has upgraded a weapon. But the amount of utility, the amount of health that they have in aggregate is so low. And that's a big delay from Boo. With 13 seconds left, he's got to commit to it. He's got a firing squad around him. Secret Service to protect. Mission accomplished. But now you hit phase 2. Now you need to drop Boo. As he creeps forward, quietly slithering his way into the site. With no one to detect, no one to delay. How much more space can he find? Utility cycled up, forced to sit back on the other side of the wall, and now he's spotted. Now they know where he is. He's able to spot one. The other two are weak. 40 HP amongst both. As Boo has to make a play, and it's a back-to-back MasterCard Thrifty. This one the way of Gen.G.
Gen.G, constant fire in the face of failure. They bring that one back. Texture with the opener. A beautiful peek. And the trading on site. Patatek, he was looking so good in Nest. No utility hitting him the entire round.
Not like this, man.
That's exactly how it happened, brother. And so again, now 3 rounds separating these two. 2 rifles in the hand of Heretics. But Moot with no armor. Boo's already dead. The hopes of the round rest on porcelain prospects for Heretics. The dash through, the flash over the top, the swing from Texture is too damn clinical. And now they can turn their attention on getting the spike down. Now they can turn their attention on assuming their post-plant positions. Just when it seems like Heretics have a spark, just when it seems like they found some footing, the rug is pulled out of under them. But Rian's with that Vandal, light armor, making a run at this. He's gotten his one, already tagged up though. On the swing, Patatek getting in on it. We're gonna have it again, aren't we? A 2v2. Karen spotted. Rian's has to go though. Trying to turn the flash. A great shot from Rian's again. Can Munchkin clutch it out? He's got the shots onto him, but it's another. Rian's with 4. The defuse comes through. Make that 3. Back to back to back.
50
This
line.
map just keeps delivering. We gotta run that one back. A 5v3, it looks so promising for Gen.G.
Enemy remaining.
What a spark that kid has been. Rian's has been, I mean, Rian's has been quiet sometimes throughout this tournament, but what a cornerstone. Ooh, getting tagged by some of the utility, not able to take the aggressive line that we saw Texture strike from. But does he try once more? Not able to land the shots. Texture's blades. So accurate, so deadly. Now they've invested the Hunter's Fury as well. Lakia falls. Texture dancing around it, staying alive. Now a little bit of cover, a little bit of time, and a little bit of space. That doesn't feel good.
Spike planted.
Not enough to find a kill. How do Heretics attempt this retake approach?
Beautiful dagger.
Who has an op? Oh, it's Rian's again!
Bomb grenade out.
Meteor creeping forward. You see them starting to take a quick step back. Carol probably has a lineup. Woot's got the shot. Meteor's dead, but so is Woot.
Last player standing.
It's a 1v3 now. Whoa! Is able to get his one, but Benji Fishy stabilizes.
Rian's the backbone of this roster. He's so clean on the Sova, especially on Icebox.
Oh no, you don't deserve.
He's doing it again, Doug. This man is an absolute phenom on this map. instincts, the intuition, all there.
One enemy remaining.
Someone who we haven't seen activate or be online quite yet has been Benji Fishy, but getting 2 in that last round. That secures him that Killjoy lockdown.
And then to the defuse at the end, you're right. Rian's handed it over to him. Now they have that tool in their arsenal to play around. Blue also 1 away from his pit. Knives traded and information gathered. Patatech was tagged by that. Boots trying to be aggressive. He's trying to take a page out of Texture's book. What a shot.
Almost got punished.
10 HP. You can't pen that your way. Not with what Texture could do. He continues to push forward, but Rian's and Benji Fishy hold the line. They stand strong. He's gotten backside though. The spike is out of reach, and now they've got the lockdown they have to reckon with.
Easy does it, easy does it.
Gen.G will have to take a step back, wait this thing out. Now they go. 4 up on the side of Heretics, but Boo's playing elsewhere. Concerned about the late flank.
He needs to be careful here, Doug. He's playing a little too aggressive with this HP that he has, but he's living for long enough.
Playing to win. Not playing not to lose. Playing on a knife's edge. Benji Fishy and Rian keep him back. Munchkin a 1v3. The situation was dire before, and it's somehow gotten worse. Heretics knocking on the door of tying us at 9.
And he's gonna have to save here. They have no money going into this next round. And while we have the time, I don't think Heretics are gonna go for this hunt.
10 seconds left.
Gen.G had full control of this round. They were surely about to convert it, but Munchkin hit a team flash on 2 of the members that ran through that Viper wall. And that was the deciding factor to buy enough time for Rians to get out, for Benji Fishy to come back in.
We'll see if we can take a look at it again, because if that's how it went down, that's heartbreak.
A micro mistake. It connected on Rians, but also connected on that flash right there. That flash blinded Lakia and Texture. They had him dead to rights.
One enemy remaining.
And then the kills on the other side, the punishment through.
Now a cause for conversation.
And that cause is that we're tied at 9 apiece. 3 rounds in a row, the way of Heretics. We went a little tit for tat at the beginning of the half, but Heretics have shown they traveled the world and they came to claim the throne. They didn't come this far just to come this far.
And it really felt like Gen.G were in the complete driver's seat this entire map.
Well, and that's why we talked about it earlier. It's not about how you start, man. It's how you finish. This marathon has fooled and broken the hearts of so many around the world. People who think they've accomplished what they set out to do, just falling a bit short at the end. And I mean, Heretics, yes, it's not the very end, but they're showing they have plenty of fight in them.
And to a team who came into this tournament for fun. That's what they called it. We're just showing up to show up. But when you make it this far, all of a sudden, oh, we can actually win this damn thing.
The goalposts change. They move.
It's a different type of energy.
Remember, Gen.G has made it this far in the tournament undefeated. Yeah, they've dropped a couple of maps, but they've looked unbeatable.
At what point do Nightmares of Madrid creep up?
Gotta wonder what's happening now. Benji Fishy falls. Meteor's been so good. He's only got 5 HP to his name now. And he's stuck. He's got nowhere to go. The orb goes up as he tries to cross, but he plays this time perfectly. They thought he'd try to get away. They thought he was stuck. But in fact, the trap was his. Now a flash forward, Patatech on the turn. That was ridiculous. Not able to steady the shot, so.
Spike down A.
This match is insane.
If Meteor's able to buy his time, he could be the one to secure the round. With the 5 HP that he's had for what feels like an eternity.
Wait, Rians is actually dialed in on this.
He's watching, he knows, he's ready. Meteor's dead. But still a 2v2.
Silver Dart available.
Munchkin 5 HP. There's the dart.
Revealing area. Found them.
What value can it find? Holy smokes. There was nothing to clear it. And so Munchkin pays for it with his life. Lakia with a bulldog. In a 1v2. He gets his one, but Rians trades. On the other side of the timeout, Heretics still continue to win.
Rians is on fire.
Rians has been on fire, man. And there's nothing a Gen.G can do to extinguish it.
I mean, they tried their darnest. They got the first 2 kills, the third on a pad attack on the site. But Rians with their awareness, holding Meteor down. Meteor just can't quite connect. And that dart getting so much value. The insta trade. Lakia had no chance to transfer there.
Let's go. Oh my god.
I mean, it's just been a bloodbath in the server. The back and forth. Both teams, they don't even require full buys to make it close.
4 in a row, the way of Heretics. This time it's Boo who's gonna get pushed. That one way will only buy you so much time. He gets the pit down. And it's been traded, of course. Venn diagram and green goo.
But Doug, there's so many ults available right now for the side of Heretics. They can create so much chaos right now.
And it seems like they're succeeding in doing so. Texture's the first to fall. Pad attack! He knows he's there, spotting the gun barrel. Bagi punished. Munchkin crumbles. Meteor left alone. In the face of the pin, in the face of 5. He falls as Heretics thrive.
And you can hear the crowd roaring.
That tech is only as good as their skill. And that we have some beats.
5 rounds in a row. You take a look at it one more time. You called it, Dre. All of the ults that Heretics had to invest. And then, of course, kills like that end up being the difference maker. They look sleepy on Breeze. But holy smokes. Those kids have woken up.
Such a mind-blowing half. And they're not done yet.
5 in a row. Heretics with a 2-round lead. We've got a fight on our hands. Patient on the swing. Texture not able to punish. 20 and 15 from the star.
Jeez.
But the demand for more is so great. This is a really nice position from Meteor, but he's got the alarm. But on the other side, it doesn't matter. Catches Benji Fishy with his pants down. Boo on the swing. Gen.G falls once more. But they've kept it competitive. They've gotten into a 2v3. Meteor's 1 away from his ult. Settles the shots on 1. Too many targets on the other side. Munchkin forced to make a monumental play here.
Does have the Molly online, so if this tap comes through, they'll have to use that Molly, and that will allow Heretics the opportunity to just swing together here.
There's the tap, there's the Molly. Boo and Rian's waiting for the challenge. The orb goes up. It's all a guessing game now. There's not a lot of time here. He's got to hold this. Oh. Is there enough time? It's going to be close. Oh, it's so close! On the edge of their seats, Heretics take us to match point.
I cannot believe how close these last rounds have been. I mean, yes, Heretics have taken away the last 6.
Spike-nya mau meledak loh, guys.
Every single time.
Wow, hampir sukar dipercaya.
The thinnest of margins.
It's preposterous.
Why?
An op in the hands of Woot. Still quiet, but honestly, at this point, who gives a damn? What a half from Heretics. Gen.G have a couple of tools, though. They have Meteor's ult, they have Lakia's ult.
But if you're Heretics right now, you might read into this. They've gone B the last, 3 rounds in a row. And they've gotten stuff denied.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing here, though, is Pad Attack, he's got his ult. Think about how many times we've seen it already. As soon as the thrash goes down, Pad Attack responds with his ult.
Exactly.
And I wonder if that's what they're looking to bait out here. First to lockdown.
We've seen him break this before. Is he going for it again? The molly connects. Is the shot gonna land? It breaks!
And they still have the safety valve of Patatek, so Lakia hanging on to his for now. But understanding the game of rock, paper, scissors doesn't go your way. Spacing a little awkward there as Texture tries to find a little bit of room to work. A little bit of space to get active. But he will fall. The tap, the first. Almost all members huddled up on the side for Heretics. Get him down to 2. Can Munchkin deliver a miracle? He's been spotted. Team Heretics are not done yet. They punch back. They counter on Icebox. There's fight in these kids. And there's plenty more to come. Map 3 on the other side of this break. Do not go anywhere.
Gila.
First out was SHANGHAI. Biggest disaster.
What? You are back. Let's go. What? Listen to me. Very important. Dodge the knife on A every time. Nice. Let's go. Nice. Let's go.
Every time I needed a new phone, I had to switch carriers.
I told him, at Verizon, everyone can get the best deals. Like that iPhone 15 on them.
Switching all the time, it wasn't easy.
35.
You're gonna be here forever.
And
Here's your wireless contract.
do I need a lawyer for this? Those were hard days.
Representative, swear.
Now that I got a huge storage and battery upgrade, I'm officially done switching.
New and existing customers get iPhone 15 on us when they trade in any iPhone, any condition, guaranteed.
I really wish you told me sooner.
I did.
1-1. Ini, Cok.
What's up, everybody? I'm standing here right now with two very special guests. We have none other than Anna Donlan and Leo Faria. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're all tied up.
I know. Everything is so crazy. And Leo, we just heard that crowd. How has it felt like to bring an event to China?
Oh, it's been so great. Look, we launched Valorant in China last year, and we knew from the get-go we wanted to bring an event here. And it's been incredible. Like, we've got to spend a week here now, walk around the city, see players, hanging out, doing a bunch of cool stuff. We had a bunch of activations around the city. And I think getting here, it's one of the, Mercedes-Benz Arena, one of the most iconic venues in the world. And just seeing the crowd has been phenomenal. I'll be honest, we got a little nervous when all the Chinese teams got knocked out. We're like, are fans gonna show up? And they did. We sold out in 20 seconds, and they've really, been supporting the event. And we're very happy to be here.
Oh yes, we can definitely hear that as we walked on this stage, right? And we also had some big news recently. We had Valorant console that was announced. How has that been received from your point of view?
I mean, really, really well so far as we can tell. I mean, it hasn't been that long since we did the announcement, but so far the reception seems really, really good. Teams have been working on this for a long time, and for us it was like, we're only doing console if we can bring the true Valorant experience to those platforms, and so that took a lot of work. And so I think the team at home is like celebrating in this moment because we're finally ready to share it with players, and we'll see what they think. We're so excited about it, though. So excited.
I cannot wait as well. And finally, what do the Valorant audience have to look forward to for the rest of the year? We'll start with you, Leo.
Guys.
We still have a lot of season to go. We're going to go back from Master Shanghai straight into International League, straight into Stage 2. We're going to crown the champions of the season. And then, of course, teams are going to qualify the champions. It's always the culmination of the Valorant year. That's where we pull all the stops and throw a big spectacle. We cannot wait to go back to Seoul. And I think this is shaping up to be our best champions ever. So we're very excited.
Anna, what about you?
I think it's going to be the best champions ever, too. I mean, every time we do one of these big events, it takes so much for all the teams involved and players involved. It always feels like the end of the year. Honestly, it's halfway. We're halfway through the year. So there's a lot more to come. Teams focused on getting console out, focused on an amazing champs. And honestly, we still have game changers and some more stuff coming out in the game. So more to come, for sure.
It's never ending. It
never ending.
We have such a dynamic game here. I cannot wait. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit in for this little interview. We have so much more coming up. And of course, the grand finals of Master Shanghai will continue.
It will indeed, and it will continue just that much longer because Team Heretics, they managed to secure a map here in a best of 5. I've got Josh RT, Kakuka, and Mimi with me once again. For a second, it felt like maybe we're gonna a 2-0 here for Gen.G, but no, Kakuka Heretics, they hit back pretty hard.
Time and time again, them and their retakes, yes, some of those rounds became a little bit too close for comfort, but they managed to close it up in a map of their choice.
Well, let's take a look at the HyperX reflex moment of the day. This one goes to Rians on a map that Mimi Vu wasn't really showing up. Rians, though, was on it.
Yeah, this map was absolutely about Rians and Patatek, and in particular how they were playing in the retakes. I think the two of them, we've talked about it before, are super well coordinated on their util usage, but also when it came down to these late rounds, these guys were shooting. Team Heretics is a team that has a lot of stars that can step up, and I think they really proved here that it's not just the Woot show to go on this run.
But as we head into the next one, though, how dangerous would it be for Heretics, Josh, if Woot isn't able to show up the way that we've seen him so far in this tournament? Because Ascent is up next.
I think Heretics just proved that they don't need Wu to just pop off and they can win with the fundamentals. I saw that in that last game, in the low number situations, they were able to trade out and convert those retake scenarios or all those scenarios that they didn't win in the first game. So hopefully that continues and they can just keep up with that momentum.
Yeah, exactly. And now that they're starting on the defense, maybe just with the fact that they were able to close this one out, the fact that they're starting on the defense, it means that it goes the distance. I'm honestly way more concerned about that second half and what is going to happen when it has to be them on the attack against one of the strongest, even not the strongest Ascent defense that we have.
I mean, you know what happens.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Don't have to bring that up this soon. But yeah, I mean,
happy moment for him. Yeah, they did great. They came back.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about Gen.G's
I was
defense.
thinking of Gen.G too.
Okay, my bad.
And Gen.G's defense, I mean, Josh, you've played against it, is really good on this map. We talked about some of the kind of varying of the forward plays on Icebox and their retakes. They excel at that here as well. I think good protocols on that side.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to point out that Munchkin lost a lot of 1v2s at the B side in Icebox, and I want to see how he's able to mentally recover into this next game.
This is the thing, though. You said that they don't necessarily need Voot to be the one to pop off for them to win. I think the story is the same for Gen.G, Kukuka. You know, we've seen maps where Texture wasn't necessarily present, and the rest of that team managed to carry him through.
And hear me out. Even though this is Ascend and we're going to be looking at the Jets, I am looking at Karen. He is the clutch king on this map. Same goes for Meteor. Both on each extremities of the map, when we go into that defense, are going to be super, super important.
But this is Texture's map for Gen.G, and at this point in the series, this is where I'm starting to look at that mental for Gen.G. They've talked about it as an issue in Pacific. It was the issue in Madrid. They were favored to win that final. They were up early on, and then they lost the map, and the map 5 of Icebox slipped away from them. It's a different team than they were then, but still keeping this mental strong, bouncing back, recovering on a map that should be very heavily favored towards this Gen.G squad is going to be really important.
They're men now. They're men.
Sure, but if they lose this map, I'm very worried about Gen.G for the rest of this finals.
But on the other side of this, this was Heretics permaban forever, and they let it through against G2, and then they immediately went back to banning it again. So I feel like a mental side perhaps on the side of them as well, as we take a look at the Asian select, and they're going to bring in a Killjoy, yeah.
I mean, we're not surprised. This is just the standard composition. Yeah, probably Benji felt more comfortable to be on the Cypher, but Killjoy brings you a lot more to do, especially slowing down and affecting Gen.G's attack. I'm honestly concerned about how Gen.G is going to deal with those post-plants and those retakes that Heretics has been so good in so far.
Yeah, this seems to be a pattern. Benji switching over from the Cypher to the KJ. What do you make of this?
I think Cypher gave some unique abilities to help him play out the defense that gave us problems. I believe the Killjoy swap is for their attack and making sure those mollies are in the right spots to block out the rotation spots. So I expect a better attack from them here.
They're starting on defense as well, though. Benji and Boo are great anchors on this map. If they can get a strong start in this third map, it postures Team Heretics for a great chance to win this final.
Well, it's 1-1 on the board, and the momentum is on the side of Team Heretics. Doug and Baby Bay, let's get us back into game.
Yinsu, it would be my absolute pleasure. Map 2 was a gift, and Ascent often delivers bangers, so there's very good reason to think we're going to get a little bit more of the same. We talked a lot, or the Des did, about the swap from the Cypher to the KJ. I'd love to get your thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, I think it's definitely for the attacking side. Heretics struggled to get any type of B main control with just the cages and the camera. It didn't really do much of anything, honestly, and that's why you saw G2 just absolutely punish them on their defensive side. So that is the change, but the question is, will their defensive side now lack? Because that Cypher, he had so much value controlling a bunch of different areas of the map, playing at 2 spots at once.
They're going to get tested. Gen.G had a field day with aggression at the beginning of Icebox, and they caused so many problems, but we'll see if it's a bit of the same. Lakia's drone clearing out mid, finding a little bit of space and getting any info that it can. But all this Killjoy utility, Dre, it's posted up. Hey.
Perfect for Benji Fishy, the turret as well. We've seen Boostio do this quite a bit. Saw him do it at Champs, actually.
Texture doesn't feel good here. He's taking 70 HP. Yeah, he's swung. He's found safe passage, but he's been put in a corner, now finding space, now getting out. Gen.G looking really good on this pistol, and they don't seem to be slowing down.
That's scrappy on the actual site. A bunch of players running through smokes. Woot will convert that kill on a Texture.
Got a little messy there. Woot deciding that he wants to take a different approach, and Lucky is a step ahead of it. Meanwhile, I'm not really sure how that happened. Pen that through the wall. He's got to hit the shot, dashing to his left, trying to fire to his right, and a little bit more spam. What seemed secure, what seemed safe, is now up for grabs, is now unsettled.
Wow.
Woot with 22 HP. He's gonna have to clutch this out, but again, they've got him surrounded, they've got him dropped. Gen.G get the pistol.
I mean, a flurry of bullets everywhere for Woot, getting a bunch of tags, getting a spam kill. And he's kind of online now, finally. I feel like Heretics have been waiting for him. Maybe now that he realizes that his team can do it without him. Allows him the space to breathe and actually just commit on some of these nice shots that we know he can hit.
Here.
That being said, Yeah, that was
Nicely
insane.
done.
That being said, Gen.G, they did a really good job of not falling early to those mollies of Benji Fishy.
Yeah.
And wrapping the site, going in and out of the smokes. That little bit of finesse, it goes the extra mile for them.
That Texture played that so well.
Yeah, he lived for so long.
He's got a Guardian in hand now. That knife on the other side of the map by Tatatech, not going to tag anything.
And Gen.G, it was the anti-eco that didn't go their way in the last map that kind of gave life to Team Heretics. So you have to believe that they want to convert this. They need to convert this.
Give them an inch, and they'll take the whole damn map.
Yeah, and on a map like this where you really need to salvage as many rounds as you can on the attacking side, I mean, it's going to be even more crucial than ever. Good utility being used so far to delay any flood from heaven.
Booze was in a really nice spot, but he cannot stand in the face of the Vandal. So a knife will be invested out. Still just pistols for Heretics, not really able to do much else. We got Wu with the Sheriff.
Spike planted.
Little nice bit of HP.
No spam kills this time around, though.
No. Now Rians is going exploring a little bit. Much to his dismay, he'll be met with an alarm bot on the other side.
Yeah. At some point, he's just going to go for the exits. Lakia picking up kills, Texture picking up kills. Woot still going strong. Whoa!
Yes, he is. He's gotten 2. But he's going to have to close out in an ace fashion if he wants to win this. Time is short, too. He's gotten 3. But Karen stops him. Gen.G get their second.
Nicely done from Gen.G from the beginning of that exec. All the utility was really good. Setting Texture up to get that kill onto Jenny with that dagger. But Woot, he's 6-2. He already has knives online.
Nice.
We talked so much about Woot needing to come online, Woot needing to be the spark, and Heretics showed us on Icebox that they can win in spite of their star struggling. The problem right now is he's the only one performing. He's the only one with kills on their side, and yes, it's early, so you can't imagine that will remain the case for much longer. Boo had a shot at it there.
Yeah, one way disrespected from Karon there.
It's the Gen.G way.
Oh, this silent walk up. Perfect dagger. Oh. But they all dodge it.
And Patatek gets dropped. And now they can go forward. With free mobility and free utility, Texture falls.
There was no follow-up from his teammates there.
He was the only one able to get out. You're right.
Yeah, there's a disconnect right now, maybe in the communication or what was being said in the comms. Something not going the way, and all of a sudden, Heretics, I mean, it looked dire for them in that round. Had that kill gotten converted or even traded, that would have been a free A site. Now they're forced to walk into the blender of the Killjoy utility. See if they're aware of the Molly's lane with that alarm bot. If they're not, I mean, this could be disaster.
Turret cleared. More to come. Benji Fishy not getting tagged by the knife, so his utility is still in play. Tries to clear the drone. The flash goes up. Meteor is behind him, and he has no idea. And even if he knew at that point, he was so blind, he was so deafened, he never had a shot. Now they can turn their attention over to B. Not concerned, not worried about the utility. It's easier now. Woot's playing on the other side of the smoke, dashing forward, but Meteor's there to greet, Meteor's there to wait, Meteor's there to punish. Woot falls, Rians does too. Meteor gifted. And now Boo in a 1v3. He's got the rifle, but the rest of his team doesn't have the finances. They don't have the funds. And so he has to take a step back.
I'm here. And it's brutal. Getting bonused by the attacking side. All of a sudden, you know, Gen.G have a chance to get to that 4-round mark. And for a lot of teams on this map, that's a W in itself. They have a bit of buffer to play around with, play around the map. Munchkin, that was a great setup for Meteor there, going all the way up mid. It wasn't too pretty. The shots didn't quite connect at first. But the follow-up utility, I mean, he secured it, and then that built him the confidence to close out the round.
I mean, that kill from Texture at the very beginning was...
Yeah, that was cold.
They dodged the knife. They're able to drop Patty down from up there. It was perfect.
Yeah, not even just him. All 3 members dodged the knife.
And
they all swung together.
That
was beautiful.
They knew what the plan was. They knew what their approach was. And they executed it to perfection. Heretics broken by.
And they're setting up an updraft play here with the knives. Maybe off of an Omen Flash. Does he go for it? Dart Omen Flash to combo with it.
He's getting
Here we go.
And there's the high ground. There's the flash. But Munchkin swats him out of the sky. Yeah, they're able to get their one. Now pushing forward. The spike getting planted. And again, Gen.G with control. With room to work and Boo dead. No thrifties this time. Gen.G in firm control.
Oh,
that's all right. Nobody saw that.
A little bit of an awkward dance there.
3 remain for Heretics. 2 of them coming into spawn, and all 3 of them crumble. 4-0 the way of Gen.G, as you mentioned, on attack.
Yeah. One of the best starts you can have on a map like Ascent. At Gen.G, the desk was right. It's one of their best maps. Yeah, that's disgusting.
I mean, he wasn't even necessarily looking. All reaction.
Those Overwatch players, they're built different, Doug.
Just cold.
They're used to plucking things out of the sky, having to flick left and right. Munchkin, he had a rough last map. Josh was talking about how he didn't convert any of the 1v2s that he had. More disrespect shown in A main. HERETICS will punish.
Oh, yes, he will.
Whoa!
Benji Fishy not satisfied with sitting back and watching. Gets active, gets involved. Will also reap the benefits. And it seems like Heretics will get a round win. In flawless fashion, HERETICS with 4 as Heretics are on the board.
Yeah, an absolute crisis was just avoided with winning that round and winning it cleanly. Now they have an opportunity to build up the economy. HERETICS, man, I mean, I feel like he was one of the deciding factors in the win on the last map.
I would agree.
He started off so strong on that attacking side. He was the spark that his team needed, the spark that Rians needed to be able to be set ablaze. And although Rians is sitting at 0 kills right now, he does get that Odin online. We've seen how overpowered it can be on a map like this, especially towards that B site, spamming through all the walls. Even if you don't get a kill, you get all that chip damage in.
Aline A. HERETICS holding the line. He's got his ult, but Munchkin does too. Traded in kind. Munchkin pushing forward, getting the best of HERETICS. Is he expecting Boo on the other side? Yes, he is. Oh! He gets 2! Not able to convert on the 3rd for Benji Fishy. The 1-2 punch is too good.
What spray control from Benji Fishy. I was blessing him last time with my words, and now he's done it again. The transfer, the entry here from Munchkin, it was so good, it looked so promising. But it just got stripped away by the multi-kills from the 1-2 punch you mentioned.
And you can tell Munchkin, as soon as he goes through that door, check switch. But it was a sloppy check.
Yeah.
It was undisciplined.
He second-guessed himself.
And that's all it takes. I mean, these tiny margins for error. Unreal.
Yeah, on Icebox, it was that pop flash that he did that connected on 2 of his players. Gave all the momentum on the side of HERETICS. This time around, that little half check. Gotta feel like he's kicking himself in the leg for that one.
There's no time to think about that, though.
Yeah.
Gen.G made a little bit of noise while they let Meteor sit and wait. But now eyes towards B.
And the problem here is Texture has no dash, so he's gonna be met by a flurry of bullets. I say that, but that tag might just be enough to gain the space.
Oh, Rians handles that beautifully and then drops the dart, ready for the spam. Texture can't get out, he can't get in. What a play from Rians. The spark on Icebox. Now a full flame on Ascent. These kids seem like they can do no wrong right now. Oh, where is he gone?
Alarmbot's still up at mid.
Oh, Boo's got utility out. Punished. Meteor finding the right time to strike. And now attention divided with 13 seconds left. Karen's gotta go. He doesn't really have time to think this through. He will fall at the hands of Woot.
That's what I was talking about, that early dash in the A main. There was no kill off of it, so now in the mid round, in the late round, when you're trying to flood on a site, that opens up the opportunity for this Sova Dart to just get a tag on you, and that Odin. That was the demise of Heretics, so now they're taking a page from G2's book. Playing up close in the beginning, the spam game, flooding into back site, using utility. Patatek, if need be, can rotate over, throw the pop flashes over the top.
I'm so impressed by what Riens did there. If he gets tagged by that ult, probably dies. As you mentioned, doesn't have the dart, doesn't get the kill on the Odin spam.
Yeah, great mechanics.
Under pressure, under duress. One round between these two and a moment to settle and a moment to slow. Gen.G still in the lead, yes, and it looked so comfortable at first. And as you mentioned, you can make the compelling argument that they've won enough on this attacking side already, but honestly, it's an any given Sunday type beat right now. Anything can happen on game day.
And if you give the confidence to Team Heretics, they run away with it. And that's all off of mistakes that you made yourself. Gen.G, even on the last map, did a good job of setting themselves up for success. But then when it came down to actually executing and closing out the rounds, when they had the man-up advantage, they just couldn't convert.
An op online for Woot.
Op Odin.
What a brutal thing to have to deal with.
Yeah, 1-2 punch of its own, and it's all light armor on the side of Gen.G. 4 players tagged by that dagger.
And of course, oh gosh, I thought he was gonna fight, man. I thought he was gonna swing.
Just that little flash alone gives him all the info, though. He didn't even need to peek with it. He still heard, what, 2-3 players fully blind, just spamming away. That might set up some future kills in other rounds.
Stills one more flash.
Cover going out.
So if he decides that he's not satisfied, he can take another shot at it. But instead finds comfort in the smoke.
Beautiful entry from Woot.
Texture again can't find a way in, but Karen has. Oh, but he still can't capitalize on it. Woot is alive. Woot has awoken.
He peeks through the molly, Doug.
Unreal.
Wow.
Just so confident, so bold.
That's savage.
A 5v2 now, and it feels like the tables have turned.
Player standing.
How often, Trey, did we see throughout this series moments where the round had just started and then all of a sudden Gen.G's up 5-3, 2-4, things like that? I mean, the script has been flipped.
If you give Heretics an inch, they're going to take a mile, maybe more. Munchkin will take out the first member of Team Heretics, and he does have time to get the bomb planted, but in these moments, Heretics on the retake, they're not likely to just give you free fights. They're going to go together. They're going to use whatever utility they have left in the round. I mean, they still have a drone.
Yeah. They're so disciplined.
What is that? Here comes the drone.
And yeah.
And the tag, the peek from Woot, securing the round. He opened it up. He re-swung in through the KO molly of Munchkin. He's got his mojo back, his swagger back.
Then also, I mean, Karen getting lit up, can't do anything about it. That peak was perfect.
Oh, even that shot. All he saw was the hair off Munchkin's back.
He didn't even need the light up off the drone.
This is ridiculous.
So we're tied at 4. And they've all come in bunches. The timeline tells the tale. 10-4 for the Star with op in hand. 3 members. Texture being one of them. Considering the peak right here.
Oh my
He's just on the other side of the box. Does he jump peek?
Here.
He's scared to.
Woot is also giving up the line a little bit.
A dart used in a main for Lakia, so
Careful.
Unless Gen.G invests the drone into this round to clear out mid, it should be a free first blood for Woot. That dagger lands, but you might think he's a B main or something. There is the connection.
It was a slow burn. but Texture falls. Munchkin on the counter punch though. And Luke finds another. The smoke, the dash stays alive. Number still the way of the defense. Gen.G, just feel like they've been spinning their wheels the last couple of rounds. It's not from lack of effort. They've gotten this thing competitive. They've gotten it down to 3, but of course it's bad attack.
Here.
Spike down. Lakia has delivered on this very site before. Can he do it again? It's not the same weaponry, it's not the same position, but the demand is arguably greater. Lakia down, getting one. Karen finding another. Can they win this 2v3 back? Rian's one away from his ult, but has 2 targets to find. Time is short, the drop is there. Karen gets his 3rd. Gen.G take the lead back.
Karen carrying the team right now with Lakia. The Omen Flash, the TP, who had too many targets to look at, couldn't fixate on one. And then Lakia, who just slowly crept out of that site. Job well done from the boys at Gen.G. And Woot, I mean, he's looked like a completely different player on this map. Karen, oh man, he did such a good job in this round. Biding his time, not giving Woot anything, and then striking at the precise moment that he needed to.
Converting a 2v3. Into the next we go. Gen.G with 1 round lead. We've got a couple of ults coming online very soon for the attack. There are plenty on the other side too.
Do you think they're ready for this move from Patatek and Wine? We've seen Gen.G try to disrespect that one way quite a bit.
We've also seen Gen.G be really sloppy sometimes.
Oh.
Here.
No second charge, no second swing. Nicely done to conceal the op. You assume, but now that you hear the Vandal on the other side, they're gonna rotate back into it. Woot's got a line. Woot's got a shot, but it doesn't land. Box a dash. Do they dare swing into him? Surely not.
So confident. Lakia is gonna drone him off as he should. But now there's a turret still there that you have to break, and he's still holding his ground. Doesn't connect.
Tries to strike onto the 3rd, the 4th, and it's the shorty that delivers. Rians gets his. There's a casualty involved, but it doesn't matter. Because the round seems secured.
30 seconds left.
Lakia, 1v3. Or else Heretics are knotting us up at 5 apiece. He's close to the spike, but time is of the essence.
I have the spike.
He has no choice but to go forward. The problem is, forward is not safe. Forward is not secure. We're tied at 5.
Woot absolutely overwhelming the opposition. I mean, he held his ground so much. At first, all the way pushed up B main. Gets tagged by the KJ turret of Meteor and the swing of Meteor. Then goes all the way back up forward, falls all the way back to here, and does this.
Oh, so
fun. To smile.
Rian just had to take him out. He's like, yo, chill out, brother.
That timer's not moving, Dre.
Uh-oh. Trying to take a glance on the stage. Can't quite make out what the problem actually is. But while we have the time, I would like to talk about, obviously, Heretics coming back into this half, making it an even game. They were down, what, 4-0?
Yeah, something like, 4-0. It didn't look good.
Yeah, and it was the back-to-back mistakes that Gen.G made to allow it to go to 4-2 and give Heretics a way back into this game. If they can close out this half at about 7-5, it's something to look forward to on their attacking side for sure. But Gen.G, I mean, they're really good at a map like this. I'm sure they'll take 5 rounds any day of the week going to the defensive side of this map.
I think most teams on the attack side of Ascent would.
Yeah. And now the roles have reversed. Woot is on the top of the scoreboard, sitting at 13 and 6. Texture is at 4 and 9. But this is nothing surprising to me because Jet on attack, I mean, you either drop 30 or you're sitting at like under 10.
Yeah.
And that's like a good game. It's just so hard to entry. There's so many layers of utility that you have to deal with.
Right. And Your job is to create space. Honestly.
Yeah, that's literally it.
And if you get the kills on top of it, yeah, that's
W.
that's
Yeah.
icing.
Yeah, exactly. So nothing to be too worried about. But you can definitely tell that Gen.G are feeling a lot of the pressure and those nightmares that I spoke about that happened to them in Madrid. They're slowly seeping in to this stage.
Those demons, those nightmares, they die hard. And so we are back into the action. Valorant fans rejoice. The delay is over. Tied back at 5. You've got 2 rifles on the side of the attack. Meteor 1 away from his ult. And they've put HERETICS back in line now.
Yeah, Gen.G never cleared him out in the last round. That allowed the quick rotation and the Sova ult setup from Rians in the previous.
Do they clear him? That crosshair certainly is trained that way.
They're not clearing him, Doug.
Ah, they're looking.
They're looking, but they're not clearing him, Doug.
Oh.
They're not clearing him, Doug.
Oh no. Oh no. He gets his 2. Almost gets his 3rd. Meanwhile, the Alper at the top not able to connect the first time, but Booth does not miss twice. Again, as soon as the round starts, Gen.G are on a back foot.
These are mistakes Gen.G don't usually make.
But we saw it a couple of rounds ago. Remember the hit, the check switch? It's the same idea. These little boxes that are not going checked.
And they're paying out dividends to Team HERETICS.
30 seconds left.
The feet of Texture will be seen. Doesn't get tagged up. This would take an absolute miracle, but he might get the opening right here. Can't even get one as Benji Fishy cleans him up. 6-5, the way of HERETICS.
And the last round of the half. We'll take a look at that one more time. This position from HERETICS was so good. This was a trap that was set in the previous round, and you mentioned it. They didn't clear him in the previous round. They didn't check him last time. And even then, Texture was looking, but there wasn't the full commitment to clean the spot.
Usually you'll see a molly being thrown there before you use that drone or something,
Right.
maybe even a body, as you're entering the site with that jet
you.
smoke. Nothing.
Oh,
there.
That hurts.
No kill, but yeah, a lot of damage done on a Meteor.
He's an important player to stay alive here too. He's got his lockdown online. Last round of the half.
It's a full B main trap. Omen flash off of the Killjoy turret and Odin spam.
Honestly, it's very simple.
Here we go.
Saw HERETICS do in the previous round. There's the ult. Boo's on the swing. Benji Fishy holds the line. Forget the paranoia. It's a barrage of bullets. But Gen.G able to punch back. But they're off kilter now. Wavering, wobbling. That flash missing its mark. When you're 12 and 6, that's all right. You'll let that one go. Bagi investing. Oh, he's getting tagged on Rians. Again, can he stay alive? The fancy footwork is so good.
I don't know how he does it. I do not know how he does it. It's not an easy thing to do. And Laka, he's so good with that ult as well. HERETICS with that aggressive space.
30 seconds left.
Just burning the clock down. Gen.G have to clear out everything.
53 HP, 20 seconds left in the round.
I mean, Munchkin has to speed up here, throw the molly to delay so we can get the bomb down. If he doesn't,
well, there's no question of that now. They've got behind it.
My God.
How? Munchkin gets 3. Gen.G ties up at 6. That was a 2v4.
It's crazy. Well deserved.
We got to see that again. They look so done. Look at Benji Fishy on the swing. This is what looked like the round was done for.
But Munchkin and Lakia, the trades in main, they played together so well.
And then this. Munchkin, what a hold. 3 on the round to ties at 6. We talked about how 5 could have been enough. We talked about how maybe 4 would be enough to carry you into the next. This is anyone's map now, and you imagine HERETICS on defense will look good. We've got Devi standing by with an interview. Take it away,
Hey guys,
Nika.
we have another special guest with us. We have Devi from PRA. Davai, what does it feel like? This whole crowd is cheering for you right now. What do you think of this crowd?
现在感觉我们现场的观众都非常的热情，为你们欢呼，感受怎么样呢？你对他有什么感想呢？
Amazing. One word. If I had to describe, amazing. The people are so nice. The venue is huge. Probably one of my biggest regret is not to be able to compete here. You know. So yeah.
哦，会感觉说这里真的是太奇妙、太棒了，大家都非常的热情，非常的棒，场馆也非常的大，真的很希望有一天我也能够在这么大的场馆进行比赛。
Now the score is really close. Both teams have one map each. What do you make of the game so far?
现在比分非常的接近，大比分接近，大比分是1-1。那你觉得现在目前为止比赛进行的如何呢
Honestly, I think it can go both way. I think both teams play very good so far. And if I had to choose one team, it has to be GEN.G.
哦，我们觉得现在两者皆有可能势均力敌，大家都打得太好了。如果一定要让我选择一支队伍的话，我会选择 GEN.G。
All right, thank you very much, Davai, for your time. And we're going to send it back to the game and back to our casters.
Thank you so much, Mika. 6-6. What a fight we have on our hands. Now with Heretics, we're going to have to try to convert this and try to find success on a side that's often unsuccessful, on a side that's often difficult to convert on.
A side where they completely lost the plot against G2. That comeback. I mean, they had nothing going for them, but maybe this Killjoy change for the side of Benji Fishy can be the answer that they're looking for.
You know, Josh was talking about it on the desk. This is what he felt like the change was for. It wasn't necessarily for the defense. It was to find success on attack, and success already found courtesy of Wood.
He's been unreal on this map so far, in the head-to-head specifically.
And he's pining for more.
The little noise cut. Now they're gonna re-walk into B main off of that pressure. Utility being used to not get picked off. This is looking really good for Heretics.
Meanwhile, what looks like could be disaster. There's a fight afoot mid. The push through the smoke. GEN.G striking. Wood's playing his position. He's playing his timing, but Karen aware of the possibility.
And enjoy
now staring back as the spike makes its way onto B.
In my live stream.
Things slow down for just a moment. What can Meteor and Karen do?
Spike planted.
They're healthy. Healthy enough to make a run at this, but Meteor falls. Karen on the trade. Wood on the swing.
Oh, so smart to get out right there.
That's perfect. It's beautiful. Tempting him in. Heretics get the pistol.
But this is where Heretics faltered in their last match on Ascent. It was the anti-eco. They failed upon it. Look at this double swing into market right before the Omen Flash connects. Benji Fishy, the Killjoy with the Deagle. Maybe that was the answer.
That timing could not have been better.
Yeah. Good communication out of Team Heretics.
A calm response. Not allowing the moment to get too big.
Oh, Doug. Both these players in A main dodged the KO dagger.
Oh, the flash setup is so nice, but it's traded. And so the trap that was set up results in nothing.
Enemy down.
Oh. Making a statement.
You've got to get through this cleanly. The hopes of a bonus rest on this round. If they can get through this and save the Bulldog, save the Guardian, maybe even the Spectre, I'd still go so far as to say you invest around it.
Exactly, and this approach right now is what you want. From the side of Heretics, the probe on the opposite side of the map. You have all info, nobody is B. And I guess it doesn't matter, you might as well go anywhere. Wood, spamming through the smoke.
Cleaning it up with the Bulldog.
On the other side of the map, Benji Fishy just grabbed another orb. I mean, if they could cycle the bomb plant onto them, unless Charon goes down right here.
And he will. A flawless round for Heretics as they get to 8. But you're right, they min-max their way through that entire round, and oftentimes all we ask for is a clean round, right?
Yeah.
Save your weapons, try to take as little damage as possible. Heretics realizing the moment does not get any bigger than this. The opportunity doesn't get any greater.
Like, that was the B player. I think I might be able to walk out B.
Great job.
Yep.
The probe, the human probe. You don't need utility.
The walking drone.
All he had was a sheriff. Why not? If you run into the stack, that's the cue to just go A and do the hit. That being said, this is the first gun round for Gen.G's defensive side. Much like Patatek, Munchkin holding that A main space. Heretics more than willing to give all that space up while they prod up mid slowly, surely. Waiting for anything to come in their sights.
Texture's waiting on the other side. This is a really nice turret setup too, but the flash delays for just a moment, but you didn't hit Texture, and he'll hit back. A couple more spotted, 59 HP for the duelist, has to give the space up, and Munchkin will fill in behind it.
An upgrade for Woot. Just barely misses the sights of Meteor. And a freeze to the round, waiting for any type of mistake the defense is gonna make.
Riens has his dart back up.
Whoa.
That could have been it. That could have been the opportunity, the possibility. But the thoughts, the potential of a bonus are surely gone here. Riens has upgraded a weapon. He's gonna have to 1v4 to pull this off. A paranoia at his face. No space is safe.
Texture waking up in this second half of Ascent on that gun round. Some really clean shots. That flick onto the B main player. That was a nice one. The follow-up utility. That turret getting flashed, that was kind of worrisome for a second. But it was all good. Gen.G win the first gun round, and they win it pretty clean.
And there was plenty of possibility for it to go the wrong way. But they hang on. Exchange of utility at the beginning of the round. You see the knife already invested, a dart to boot. And now Heretics want to explore mid. And Alarm Bot will keep them at bay, at least for a little bit. And if nothing else, it's just info.
This looks so similar to the last round that we witnessed.
Alarm Bot spotted. Now Heretics have options.
Okay, might get caught in this timing. Heretics don't take full advantage of it quite yet.
It's another freeze. The knife's not going to tag anything cat. Meteor's aware of where the hit's coming from. He understands he's getting surrounded. It's getting real cozy. It's getting real claustrophobic in there. But Meteor on the swing gets another. With a molly in his lap, strikes back. Things slow down. It's a 2v2 now. Boo gets a spike down.
Spike planted.
And Munchkin is on the prowl. Riens keep him back. No, what a shot.
That was beautiful.
Boo in a 1v2.
Cover going
with so much to do. One way will provide some cover, it'll buy some time. We've seen a .06, and as every second ticks off this clock, the situation gets more complicated, more difficult. He ate the flash, gets the first. Munchkin waiting on the other side of the box. Boo creeping forward. Closer and closer. Now, the drop down, the molly on one side. He's buying his time as best as he can. He's playing the clock. Munchkin's gonna get the kill. It's gonna be close. There's not enough time. So well played by Boo. The Red Bull clutches. Heretics get 9.
Let that one soak in. IGL v IGL. Right at the end right there. Beautiful shots, beautiful trades, and so well played. The back and forth, and yeah, he goes down, he falls, but he secured the round. And he secured Gen.G being put on a bad buy.
So close, such a difficult situation. You said you gotta let that one sink in, but Dre, there's no time to. 17th round is upon us, and the buy for Gen.G, as you mentioned, is rough.
Shadows traveling.
It's so impressive how Heretics can just, within a one-day turnaround, couple-day turnaround, become a completely different team on new maps, new compositions. All 5 players, their macro game, their game sense, it's so on point to be able to apply everything they learn in such a short amount of time. It's so rare to find teams that can do this thing.
coaching staff and the value they provided is incredible, but I mean, you can do all the prep. You can do all the work on the front end, but if the execution is not there, then it's all for naught.
Exactly. Can you actually execute it? And this is a team that's shown us that they are willing to do that. They're willing to go the extra mile.
There's a lot of Killjoy utility here. Patatek does not have his knife up.
What a shot.
And it's clear just like that. Almost effortless.
30 seconds left.
Got Sheriffs on the other side. They've got to know that that's the case. The Stinger and the Sheriff provide some value. They deal some damage. And it's only getting worse. It's a 2v2. It shouldn't have gotten it down to this, but Heretics stabilized.
Almost a chance there on the actual A site. That was a nasty shot from Karen. But the timing of Heretics, the trading, everything was just going their way. The utility, it was just too much when you don't have the gun advantage. I mean, Karen, he did all he could. This shot was ridiculous. That is disgusting. Benji Fishy on the lurk, the 4-1 coming out on top. The same exact anti-eco as the first time around. And it feels like this is it. Gen.G have to win this round. An operator invested, an Odin invested. And I think this is why you see Heretics just going for a full B main rush.
They have 4 ults online.
Whoa!
And 3 members, 1 away. Now Lakia gets his off the spam from Woot.
Bomb grenade out.
Lockdown used. Remember, Lakia just got his ult. Could counter with it, and he will. That's going to clear things out, and it's going to slow things down for just a moment, but never mind. Who wants to go forward? Texture with the out punishes. Meteor, meanwhile, playing his cards beautifully. It's a flawless round in response for Gen.G. You said they needed to win it. They do.
And they won it flawlessly. A beautiful setup. The spam in the beginning from Lakia. He invests the Hunter's Fury late into the round. He didn't use it off the rip. He let it kind of tick down a little bit. It's almost as if he wanted some of the players from Heretics to overcommit so they can run into Textures off, so they can run into Meteor and Logs. These are the micro things that when Gen.G do it correctly, it makes them look like world beaters.
Get out of my way.
Knife used at the beginning here. The blade's invested by Woot. And he's not going to have him for a little while. That knife will cause problems.
Yeah, makes them back away promptly. Woot decides to just hang around here. See if he can get any kills given to him, but so far from the side of Gen.G, they're playing it pretty safe. You have Munchkin just spotting the cat, jiggling back and forth. Maybe he'll commit a molly or something like that, something of the sort. And Texture, he's just tucked heaven here. No reason to swing. A lot of info gathered B main. That's a free orb. Maybe he could catch a timing if he pushes all the way through, but we're already 4 players here, Doug.
Yeah, the problem is Lakia cleared all that space to be made, and then you've got the alarm bot mid too. So they can stack all A, understanding where the hit's coming from.
Yeah.
And now knives traded. If there was doubt before, there isn't anymore. Meteor tries to catch a timing, tries to get aggressive and cheeky. Pays for it with his life, but the rest of the guns around him will secure the round. Patatek in a 1v4 with a Guardian in hand. Will get dropped by the op, and what a shot that must have been.
3 for Texture. Meteor, he had to run swinging through that smoke. He was stuck with a shock dart behind him, a molly in front of him. I don't blame him for going for that. And then the actual site, the anchors of A, who didn't move the entire round. They did a really good job of playing off of one another. Karen, the Omen Flash, that flick, that quick scope, beautifully done. Good execution from Texture.
And so Heretics will call a timeout, and the conversation and the possibility of momentum becoming a factor kind of gets sucked out of the situation for just a little bit. Things slow down, things stabilize. All of a sudden, you're not riding the emotional highs. You're not as much out of your seat. This is where you get back to the fundamentals.
Yeah, and the problem for Heretics is they haven't played this map much at all, so what fundamentals do they really have to fall back on? It's all just prep right now. They're kind of learning the fundamentals as they go on a map like this. But if there is ever a team to learn them and learn them quickly, in real time, it is Heretics. And the setup so far in the last 2 rounds from Gen.G, they've looked clean.
All eyes on the prize. The trophy, the crown jewel of this tournament sits between these 2 titans. Every time you glance across the stage, you're reminded of what you're playing for, what you're close to, or on the other side, what's slipping away. 1 round separating the 2. Heretics on top. Got a couple of ults.
Standing ahead.
Gen.G with plenty to play around.
Yeah, the ult economy is insane right now for Gen.G. And something I want to point out is this attacking Odin. It makes me believe that we're going to see a B hit come out, because why else would you invest into an Odin on the attacking side?
Oh, he spotted him.
No way.
The lamppost?
Here.
That's what's keeping him safe?
What?
Here.
Crouching and staying alive.
He thinks he's still there. Surely he gives up that angle eventually, but if he sticks around for too long, he might get punished. Oh, the footstep made. I think, whoa, here's that. Alarm bot's still up, though.
Texture gives his face away, but you're right, the alarm bot will keep him at bay for now.
And everything that Heretics has shown so far is a lean towards A.
Wood has a smoke. He wants to try to play around this, or he'll just clear it. Forget about the element of surprise.
An early Killjoy ult. Meteor not liking the silence around the map.
Rian's having to invest the ult to counter it and trade it out. And will eventually get cleared. Remember Meteor, how well he plays this time, how well he plays this position. Now in a spot to do it again. As he hears footsteps coming through, Patek had him. Read him the entire time. Bagi is on the swing and he can't find a thing. Spike will go down. Texture and Munchkin sitting back. Forced to rotate over. They've been able to clear one, but the trades are perfect. Heretics will get to 11.
What a call off of the timeout. That was absolutely ridiculous. A smoke in mid 2, a late knife A main, and it was that Odin purchase I talked about that kind of foreshadows the B hit to come through. There's no way you're buying that gun and going A. But they baited 3 members of Gen.G to stay at A site. There were no KO flashes over the top. And yeah, Karen invests that Omen ult to get backside B. But Woot, it's the Woot show, baby.
It wasn't for the first couple of chapters, but it is now. Texture with Yop. Has one boot, but Woot does it again. This is the Woot that we were talking about at the beginning of the tournament, at the beginning of the series. This is the Woot that was supposed to stand up against Texture.
The one that's been redefining what a prodigy is. On a role that's not his.
They're so close. The flash over the top. They have to spam. And Boo is the nightmare. Gonna clean them up, and now they can waltz their way into A for free. But Meteor causing problems, dealing with pressure from both sides. He's able to alleviate a little bit of it, but it's too overwhelming, it's too great. Bagi has to save.
And if I'm Heretics right now, once that ticker goes down enough to where you know it's safe, maybe you leave one guy there, I am hunting. I'm looking for this operator. I am not letting Gen.G breathe. The economy is fine, forget it. But if you get this operator out, you don't have to worry about that going into the next round.
I mean, you've got him in the corner, you've got him against the ropes with shoulders slumped and head heavy. And that could be the final blow to put him away. And so they will. Perhaps a bit too late, though. Bagi will hang on to it. He'll take the op into the next.
Doug, you talked about fundamentals. In that timeout, what have we seen so far? We've seen a team that called a perfect round, a perfect fake towards A, leaving 3 players there. Into this round where once they're up 4v5, they're not peeking into A main dry. A KO flash over the top. Oh, wow. Watch this. decimated. But this, the KO flash over the top, catching the re-aggression from Gen.G. And for the side of Gen.G, and for the side of Gen.G, a timeout. And also, in that round, when you're down 4v5, sometimes you gotta make something happen. You gotta get aggressive somewhere else, try to even the score. But right now, it's those fundamentals that you mentioned that Heretics have somehow learned on a map that they've only played 2 times this year. This is the 2nd time.
Heretics walked into this arena with memories of Madrid close by, right? They walked in, they couldn't get a thing going, go 0-2, an early dip out of the tournament, and they walked into Shanghai thinking, we're here to maybe make a run, but we come in with a sub. I mean, how much can we really do? They walked in as challengers with an Emperor staring them down in the arena. And they're the ones who are gunning for the crown.
Gen.G on this map have been absolutely uncontested. This entire year, they've looked so good on it. They've looked like one of the best teams. And right now, Heretics are sitting on match point for the next 3 rounds at least.
Right here. How do Gen.G respond? Munchkin has his ult. Another slow round. Knife getting a little bit of info, spotting Karen on the other side. Enemy tag. The drone only seeing one, and it's Benji Fishy, so there's no real reason to think something else is afoot. No reason for suspicion. Shock will deal a little bit of damage, a little splash. And listen to the map. You could hear a pin drop, and that pin is the swing! Meteor falls, Locky attacking the smoke, assassinating Whoop, but getting traded. A 3v3 now as they've invested everything into this. Heretics not interested in playing any more rounds here. But Gen.G will not go down without a fight. They will not relent. So they take the 3 that they have forward. The knife will buy a little bit more time. Rienz is on the swing with the drone. Texture cannot get in. It's uncomfortable. It's not easy. It's labored. Texture with some high ground now, dashing forward. Still torn asunder by his teammates. Not able to join up, not able to come at this collectively. And that spike has been ticking for a long time. Now committing, all of them huddled back sight. Can they get him out of those pesky corners? They've gotten 2. Can Boo do it by himself? He's gotten it down to 1, but the smoke provides cover. He's got to check in, and he does! The Red Bull clutch from Heretics. A set goes their way. They've gotten this damn close. Now 1 map to potentially decide it all. Lotus, after this break, do not go anywhere.
1 enemy remaining.
Come on, boys, go! Oh, bro, you are disgusting, Woo. It's my map. This is how it. Best of 5. I'm telling you. Do you hear that crowd, bro? They're all for us, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna say one thing. I'm reading them like a book.
I'm fighting CT. Bang! Crowd. Ah!
Red Bull gives you wings.
bisa 2-2.
It might just be happening. Team Heretics, after their performance on Ascend, means they are one map away from their first ever Masters Trophy. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Yingsu. I've got Josh, RT, Kakuka, and Mimi here with me. I cannot believe my eyes. What are we seeing?
The momentum is back for this squad. They really looked like they could be out of it after that 6-6 half. Gen.G putting together some great ideas on the attack, but the attack side from Team Heretics as well was great. Some massive calls in the mid-round from Boo and closing out some critical close rounds to keep this momentum with them heading into one map from this trophy.
And hear me out, it's not been easy. Every single map, they started off with the deficit. They have to turn things around. And when we think about how, especially starting on the defense, they're able to turn things around, and the performance from Wood on this one, he's finally alive.
Yeah, he's back. He's doing well again.
Yeah, and I want to point out how great Heretics' like discipline and fundamentals were. I felt like the big thing about that game was Gen.G's lack of first kills. And so once Heretics were able to get into those 3v3s, favorable 3v3s, they were able to close it out.
And that's a bit of a contrast to that first half too, where we saw Texture really coming online, getting some massive first kills, and also to that first map that Gen.G managed to pick up, where Woot was completely offline. This guy finding form in the perfect moment of the finals here, and playing against a guy in this form has got to be really difficult, especially for Gen.G. You can't help but remember that last finals against Sentinels. It feels really similar here, where they get a hot start, and then the players start falling offline, their opponents peaking at the right time. This is a really dangerous situation for Gen.G.
And look at the comparison, right? The Wood on Icebox versus now on Ascend. The numbers are completely different. They tell a very, very different story. But I also want to give a shout out to Nelzinho, because I think that his timeouts are having a lot of impact, especially when they were on the attack. And we knew that it was going to be complicated, not only because you're against Gen.G, but because in the past you have already stumbled against, you know,
apakah match point buat
I think that he had a massive impact also in the mentality of the
Yeah, he did indeed, but this is the thing. If Gen.G don't pull it back, if they cannot win on Lotus, it will be a very similar story to Madrid. And Josh, are you at all worried now after what we saw on Ascent?
Not at all, not at all. For Heretics' sake,
No, for Gen.G.
For Gen.G, I feel like their mental might be booming a little bit. They always have a question of like mental resilience, and I feel like Heretics is now on an upward swing. I want to see like really strong A fights, Texture back online and getting his first bloods again, and I feel like that's their way to get back in.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you also, because now that we're going on to Lotus, we saw Heretics yesterday in the lower final changing the composition and actually having a very good performance. Do you think it is something that they're going to be keeping up today? Because also Gen.G decided to start on the defense here on Lotus. Do you think there's some preparation coming specifically for that?
Yeah, so like Gen.G, once they have the Odin and op-up, it's so hard to deal with them. Lockett gets the A line with his Odin, and you have Texture maybe at the C line. Heretics has a lot to solve going to this.
They also do a really good job of like varying where Texture is going to be on the defense, kind of throwing in some of those forward defensive plays like we saw from them on Icebox as well. But for Team Heretics, I think a big point this whole event has been the momentum. When Woot and Benji start getting on that board, when they start yelling, getting up out of their seat, giving each other those special handshakes, the momentum continues to flow. And for this team that started out with literally everyone not believing they could go on a run with a sub in their squad, they have turned everything around. They have found their form. They have found their identity with this particular roster. And now with this momentum behind them, it really feels like this is their chance to lift that trophy.
I just want to know if they've learned from their past mistakes. It wasn't a long time ago. In fact, it was yesterday when we saw them play their first ever international best of 5 on this stage right here. But remember, guys, Lotus is where in the past where they have tripped up, is where their mental resilience has fallen a little bit. And Josh, Gen.G are the kind of opponent where you cannot make mistakes because they will punish you for it.
Oh yeah. Their openings are so strong and highly optimized. I think Heretics will have trouble trying to fight against that. So I hope that Heretics start moving away from their really strong opens and start playing out the macro from there.
Yeah, especially also looking at the head-to-head between Meteor and Benji. We were talking about it at the beginning of the day. Benji is the kind of player that will try and find those solutions, even going for the operator on the attack if things are not happening and Gen.G is too aggressive.
Team Heretics attack sides have been really good throughout this tournament. They really do have to find a way to deal with this aggression from their opponent, find the right timings to re-clear space.
Well, this is it. Gen.G, if they don't win here, they will be losing out on back-to-back Masters trophy. Doug and Baby Bay, they have to dig deep here if they want a chance.
One of the worst feelings for any competitor is to get that close, to get one step away and not able to accomplish what you set out to do. To do so twice is devastating. That's heartbreaking, and that's the position Gen.G are in right now. They've flirted with it. They've taken a pass at Destiny, and they haven't been able to close the book. Meanwhile, you've got Heretics who are here to write their own story, to write the future, to change the way we think about Valorant, the way we think about the era that is upon us. And to have one map away from doing it, the opportunity doesn't get any sweeter than this.
Where are you?
On their map pick of all, Lotus could be the death blow to Gen.G.
To hopes and dreams, to the pursuit of hardware. Heretics on the attacking side. Gen.G will have to figure out how they weather this reckless abandon from these kids. And they'll have to do so soon.
A very slow approach with Benji Fishy prodding at C while the silent walk up, the death ball, is on A. And they had so much utility out and ready. Had there been anybody rubble,
They would have pounced right off the bat. You're absolutely right.
Careful.
And what a mess that would have been.
That door tap keeps 2 players on the B site. There is a rotation over from Munchkin. Cover going out. Karen, he was so good at anchoring A side in the last map.
Can he find the same success? No.
30 seconds left.
Will drop a Munchkin weak. Patek on the swing. Somehow he stays alive. It's Lakia.
Spike down.
Makes a ridiculous run at this. He's gotten Meteor this far. He's gotten him to the doorstep of a pistol. But Rians and Benji Fishy are looking to take it and make it their own. Spike goes down. Time was short. Now Meteor will have to make a play. He's going to have to get active. The right click not connecting. A switch to heavier weaponry. How does he find a way around this? Look at how well Rians and Benji Fisher are playing this. They drop him. 12 steps away.
The timing on that walk-up was so perfect. They caught Karen just juggling, fumbling his utility. And then, yeah, it got scrappy. Lakia hitting some really nice shots, jumping through that smoke, trying to save his team from losing this first pistol round.
And almost did.
But Rians, he's been so good all series long, and he keeps on delivering here.
Gen.G, not really interested in investing much here. Sheriff and some utility. You also got that suck nade combo right at the top.
Yeah, we'll end up forcing Patek to take a step back, but this is the slow approach that we saw, much like Ascent, a 4-1 split on the anti-eco.
The tricky thing, though, about Heretics is, man, they slow it down, and just when you think you've got their pace understood, they punch you in the mouth.
Yeah. Patek right now, he's just a human drone, a role that we saw Benji Fishy doing in the previous.
And he did it well. They're pushing into a fair amount of resistance here, but the resistance crumbles. All of it picked apart. Texture and Karen now starting to rejoin the scene, but the crime has already taken place. Wood is weak, 9 HP, but it's going to be so tough to get their way into this. It seems like they're just going to try to fall to the spike. Not give away any ult orbs. Not give any advantage to the opposition. Oh, that was close.
Almost.
And now they know. They've drawn out the paranoia, and that's going to have them push. Texture trying to keep them back. He will fall. Karen takes one with him. A consolation prize for his troubles as he gets 2. That's all it'll be. You want these rounds to go as cleanly as you can. And yeah, they keep 2 Bulldogs, but that was anything but.
Yeah, that's a W round for Gen.G considering the start on the site. 2 players falling in water right away, and I believe also Patek actually ended up getting a pick front B as well. So some salvation to that round, that eco round. And now it's going to be gun advantage for the way of Gen.G fully, but there is an Odin invested from Benji Fishy. So weird to see that he can actually buy into the next round, even with spending so much money on this gun, and it's doing so much damage.
Oh, Texture's down to 29 HP and he's dead. Again, the combo is too much. I mean, if Heretics pull this off, what a nightmare it would be, but Gen.G standing strong, keeping it close. Really nice repositioning by Karen there. And he's gonna get away. A lot of hurry up and wait now. As things slow down, the door is tapped. Prowler's used. It is 2 rifles, and they're both here. Oh, it's such a bold swing! How in the world did Rians do that?
Full control. He's taking over this map.
He's taking over the series.
What could be the last dagger, the last slash.
Last player standing.
Going wide there, and the shots just not connecting for Gen.G.
The positioning was so tough there too. They stack up, they line up, and they mess up because of it. Early paranoia used by Karen. Got the eye out as well. Traded in kind on the other side. As Heretics slow things down once more. Gen.G have a pretty formidable defense towards C right now. Not only do they have the KJ utility, but they also have 3 members here. Texture being one of them, but The guns, not great.
And Heretics right now, they're playing so smart. They baited the orb tap. They're waiting for any type of trap play, and here it is. They're not going to get punished whatsoever.
A step ahead of it.
The counter punch.
Forcing Gen.G to play the game they want to play, but Meteor perhaps interested in making his own. Still dancing up and down, in and out, dropping Boo. Sheriff shot secured, but finally will fall. They've got to tuck tail and get away from this.
Down, C.
They've lost the plot. They've lost the situation. Hey, Benji Fishy almost died just there.
He has to stay. He has to control the guns.
Yeah.
And yeah, A-site is free, but now it's going to be 2 upgrades. And if they can steal this round away, a round that Gen.G surely have the advantage of.
Munchkin's going to cut him off. He's already there. They know where he is.
Enemy remaining.
That's the spike.
Spike down.
That's the
A.
round. Patatech's been good, but not this good.
10 seconds left.
Oh, there's no time as well. What a round from Meteor. Dodging the Omen flash. It was all up to him. Solo hero on an island. And it's the MasterCard Thrifty for Gen.G. The back and forth finesse, getting those 2 kills, his first 2 of the map. Oh my gosh.
It's like you're trying to play whack-a-mole against this guy. But every time he pops up, he's not just tempting you, he's killing you.
Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
Munchkin cutting off the rotation there as well.
Here.
That was all she wrote. So Gen.G will get on the board with that Thrifty.
Oh, again.
Texture getting spammed out.
Somehow he still gets a kill on Boo. They thought there was enough suppressive fire, enough cover for him to get around and TP across, but Texture a step ahead of it. And Bagi is showing he can do a bit of the same.
Yeah, the counter spam. 2 Odins on the map. It's just complete chaos on A. Amongst all that, you're right, Texture getting that pick. So impressive to do, especially on low HP. Good use of Molly to break that alarm bot.
Yeah, and that's going to force things to slow down a little bit here because Gen.G have to respect what's potentially on the other side now.
And that's why you see the lean from Meteor. He knows he has to pick that up. That threat of a B split or any type of B pressure, it's so hard to hold with just one person. And early Roomba invested at A. And right now it's Heretics doing a C default, but if they do not push up and break this Killjoy turret, there's no need for Gen.G to have to rotate anybody.
And it seems like Meteor's going to try to anyway. Karen with Paranoia at the ready.
Super proactive with utility is Gen.G.
Patatech plays this so patiently, decides not to pull the trigger, decides not to strike despite it aching for the touch. Benji Fishy pushing forward, the Nightball in the face. Meteor falls. Woot will join him though, as the spike now down. And again, they're thrown apart, they will fall. Rians would have to 1v3 through this. They've gotten the spike down. All he has to do is buy time. Much like we've seen a couple of rounds already in this series. Eye gets clear, the spam through all of the targets spotted. He gets 1, but it's just too much. He's overwhelmed and he's outnumbered as Gen.G will get their second.
Great discipline from Gen.G. Great discipline from Munchkin, the IGL, to sit in heaven, play that off angle, dodge the rocket on the actual entry, and then just hold his ground. Let the kills come to him. This is that entry. Oh, it was through the smoke? What? Oh, what a shot.
Snappy from Munchkin.
Beautiful, and then just there at the end, just holding the ground. Much like Karen, just waiting for the mistakes, letting the game come to them.
And with that comes the second round of the half for them. Heretics with a shoddy buy. 3 rifles and then a couple of pistols. We've talked so much about the spam game that's played early on. This time a little bit more aggression, a little bit more fight out of the defense.
A little bit of friendly fire there as well with that Paranoia. But, I mean, no one there from Heretics to try to punish that. And even if they try to go through there, there's a tether at the other end of it. Too much utility to deal with. That's why you see them taking the C space.
I didn't realize Benji Fishy had that good of an arm.
Yeah.
Meteor in a lot of trouble here, under a lot of pressure, but he gets his 2. Oh, he is the one who's the problem. Just when it seemed like he bit off too much, dinner bells ring.
The jump from over the top of sight, the volley, the blender. It was like we were in a movie in real time, in action one. Mission Impossible, perhaps. Beautiful fadeaway. Nicely done.
Let's go!
And hype out of the players from the Gen.G squad.
Heretics calling a timeout as we're tied at 3 apiece. This map has already been so competitive. We've already seen so many of these little micro games play out. Again, the Odin spam that we talked about at the beginning, the conditioning of clearing all of the KJ utility on the defense and then flipping the map whichever way you want. It's been so impressive. But it's the Heretics who are forced on the back foot first.
And yeah, and they've been impressive the last time they played this map of Lotus on this new composition they decided to run. But on the flip side, Gen.G, I mean, they're no slouch to a map like Lotus. I've seen so many highlights of Texture just going absolutely nuclear on this map.
And if I remember correctly, it was Josh who was talking about it on the desk. They're hard to beat when they get going.
Yeah, and they're fired up right now. They're ready. They're not going down without a fight. Thrifty rounds can fuel you.
You take a look at the ults right now on the side of Gen.G. There are a lot to pick from. There are a lot to choose from here. That's why you see the value, the importance of this timeout.
Ults, economy, everything in their favor right now.
See that paranoia out, the Han over the top. Boo's already dead. They're stuck, man. They're corralled. Either they take the fight or they sit and die. And that's all Heretics can do.
Texture's intuition and timing is so on point right now. A lot of these kills, he's just getting spammed through smokes, but he's just aware of where they're gonna play. And Munchkin will clean it up with a nice spray.
That looked so easy. That looked so effortless. A flawless round for Gen.G. On the other side of a timeout from Heretics too. Take a look at it one more time. There was that fight mid. The paranoia over the top. I mean, it was such a pretty setup. A cacophonous chorus of utility, sure, but it's the sweetest song that Gen.G has sung. Just pistols for Heretics now. Benji, Fishy, and Boo with their ults. You can't imagine those are invested this time around. Gen.G getting a little active across the middle of the map.
Yeah, what's this?
Trying to clear up the turret. The door is tapped.
Bring them down.
And it's just a game. Probably getting a little info. Spam war is going the way of Gen.G.
Good tether to delay.
And now the paranoia to make things even worse. Off the swing, Lakia can't find anything.
Odinya ini ya.
But Patatek can.
Hang on now.
Ini ya tuh. Oke juga tuh.
Meteor down and Heretics slow it. But Texture striking when the moment is right. Lakia joins in on it. Does Gen.G get another?
Just clean rounds right now from Gen.G. Yeah, it got a little scrappy. Patatek gets a fadeaway kill on the jiggle. But Gen.G corralled them into that door, that broken door area, and just funneled them with utility. Texture's able to hold a little off angle right here. Takes a little sidestep. They line up perfectly. That opens up Lakia to activate right after that.
Like lambs to the slaughter.
Nice setups.
Nice.
Corralled and controlled into their death as we turn our attention to the 9th round. Back on guns for both sides.
And 5 in a row for Gen.G. If they win this round again, it's another eco for Heretics. And we might be looking at a 7-3 half.
Heretics have tools. 4 ults to choose from. Gen.G not far off from their own. I mean, again, this KJ setup that they have on C and then the personnel to reinforce it, to bolster it. It's difficult to navigate.
Yeah, you peek through that. Turret will connect onto you. Omen flash comes out. All of a sudden, everyone's blind.
And the nanos are cooking you at your feet.
Yeah, like that eco round.
Yeah.
Done. And a refreshing of the smoke now from Karen to make things worse. To bleed the clock a little bit more.
Whoa, what is that?
Texture's back. Do they commit here? They don't really have any other option. There's nowhere for them to go. They tap the door to suggest they're going B, but the alarm bot will keep them there. Now, Nightfall through, Paranoia traded the swing out from Karen as they wait, and he's gonna get one. Meteor holding them back, dancing around the utility, only able to find a little bit of success, but it might have been enough. With 10 seconds left, the spike out of reach. Wood has to try to scoop it up. They have to get active. They've got to do so soon. Slowing things down a little bit, only finds one. Can Riens be a hero once more? The jump spot not gonna land. Munchkin on the swing as Gen.G gets 6.
Another great setup from Gen.G. That was that paranoia I was speaking about. Delays the flood, connects onto multiple members. It allows Karen to go wide. Oh, this was crazy.
Little fadeaway.
Ow.
That was a hard read on just the timing. He was gonna shoot no matter what, regardless if Patatech peaks or not. Why not?
Karen handled that so well. I mean, all the utility before him, you know, you've got Omen TPing top box, you've got Han over your shoulder, very calmly selecting the right targets and then adjusting. And this, Dre, this is a surprise to me because that's the second timeout on the side of Heretics. And it's been burned before we hit the 10th round.
They understand that this game has completely slipped away. This is an attack-sided map. But then again, I mean, you think about last map, you think about 6 rounds that Gen.G got on their attacking side, that's more than favorable to close it out, and they couldn't. So it's not over yet. If Heretics can do the same and salvage the rest of this half, going into the defense, they might have a shot. But right now, Gen.G, they didn't even have to invest a lot of those ults into that round. They've been sitting on these for quite a bit of time.
It's a little insurance padding. Yep. A little rainy day type beat.
Texture's 1 away from another showstopper. So he's gonna use 2 ults potentially in a half where nobody else on his team has used even one. I think maybe Lakia used 1 fade ult as well. The only other player to commit an ult.
6 rounds in a row, momentum fully the way of the number 2 seed from the APAC region in hot pursuit of their first championship
guys.
The back and forth has been immense, and let's see if this little combo right here, Nate Tether, can be even greater.
Oh, it hurts! It hurts so much! Texture gets 4. That's a showstopper online for sure. Boo will get his 2, but what a trap!
We've seen so many teams try to go for that, and it never works.
Not like that.
That worked to perfection. Oh my goodness.
1 enemy
That might be one of the most satisfying images I've seen. So fired up, the pillow fell from the back of his chair.
Placing swarm grenade.
They're alive now. 4 ults still. Lakia is a little bit off of his.
Yeah, almost 5. But for both sides, 4 ults apiece.
Heretics have to make a stand here. They have to find a way to punch back.
The problem is Gen.G have been so disruptive. I mean, Heretics, apart from the pistol round, they haven't really had a chance to even touch a site. And Lakia, I mean, he tagged up. Patatech, they're very low, 6 HP.
He had no choice but to shoot back.
The fear of the Odin.
It's real.
Boo just sprinting out of there. He wants nothing to do with it. Interesting choice to change up the pace and pick up a rifle in that moment for Lakia. Proactivity, front B. Rocket for rocket.
The first 55 have gone without a kill, but now Wood on the swing and Munchkin on the kill. Texture over the top. NG Fishy had nowhere to go. He takes him down with him, but the damage has been done. Oh, this position is so difficult as well.
30 seconds left.
I mean, if they try to commit B, they have to be concerned about what's on the other side. Boo falls. Lakia holding the line, waiting for the swing, and they waltz to their death. Patatech not able to fight back. Rien's worse for wear. Too many targets to choose from. Lakia will get Gen.G to 8.
Solo anchoring the A site from the start of the round to the end of the round. Getting the best in the spam duel, and then closing it all out. Benji, fortunate to connect there on the texture. That animation of the rocket can be so damning. But it funneled everybody into Lakia. And he closed it out, sitting at 9-4-9. Texture, the man I spoke about, stepping up huge after a bit of a lackluster performance on Ascent. And they're setting the tone, they're changing the pace, full aggression through C.
They have to go fast, they have to go aggressive, because time is short. Woot popping the rocket. And again, Gen.G, as you mentioned, hot to trot. 3 on the prowl. Benji Fishy considering investing the ult, waits for just a moment as Rians gets the spike down. You imagine the ults are going to come through in bunches. There's the first. Now Meteor will have his along with Benji Fishy. Hang on, folks. This round is going to be insane.
The nade does not connect.
Where's Bugon? He TP'd behind them. You have to suspect that he's there. There's no way you disrespect that. There's no way you ignore it. Meanwhile, the push forward. Munchkin gets caught. 4 players detained. And Boo pushing forward. Gen.G gets alive at the right time. Boo gets 1, but that's all it'll be. Gen.G a 9-3 half.
Final menegangkan ini guys.
What an answer back. This series just keeps on giving.
I mean, they got away with 9 rounds in a row. Lakia, the easiest kills of his life, and possibly the most meaningful. For him to get those there was perfect. So a 9-3 half, the way of Gen.G, trying to push us to split. We've got another interview standing by right now. Mika's hanging out with Life from FPX to get his thoughts on what he's seeing around him.
Hey guys, we have another halftime interview for you, and guess who's here?
Yo, 大家好，我是 Formula Life. Hello guys, I'm Formula Life.
Life, thank you so much for being here. Now you went up against Team Heretics and Gen.G. What is your opinion of both of these teams?
其实现在来福都跟今天的2支队伍 GEN.G 和 HERETICS 都已经交手过了，那你对这2支队伍作何评价呢？
我觉得 GEN.G 它是一个战术非常充足的队伍，以及教练组非常强劲。然后 TH 的话，我觉得是偏个人实力一点，然后对战术储备可能没有那么充足。对。
I think for GEN.G, actually they got a lot of strategy and really strong coach stuffs, and for TH, I think they played like powerful individuals, maybe not that much strategy compared to GEN.G, maybe.
Who do you think is going to be MVP of this series?
你觉得这张地图的 MVP 会是谁呢？
我觉得这张地图 MVP 会是 TH 的 Ryans.
I think it's gonna be Ryans from the Heretics.
Oh, that's very, very spicy, and I totally agree. But do you have a special message for our audience?
有没有什么特别的话想要对我们的观众们说的呢？
我想说，大家电子竞技的魅力就在于翻盘，翻盘的游戏才有意思。我们一起为 TH 加油！
Thank you so much, and thank you to Luna for helping us with some translation. We're going to send it back to our casters, and we're going to get back into the game.
Class Live.
Thank you so much, Mika. Heretics walked into Lotus so close to what they've come to accomplish, to what they came here to do. And yeah, they're hungry, but the guttural growl of a tiger humbles hunger. And that's exactly what Gen.G have done.
Texture and Lakia wreaking havoc amongst Team Heretics.
Keep it cool. That's how you survive.
14-8 for the duelist. The hour has struck and the man has appeared. And not a moment too soon. Gen.G on the attack. A 3-2 split right now. And Rians is going to spot a little bit of what's potentially waiting on the other side. You have to assume there's more there. As the panel gets broken, the suck will hang on to Texture for just a moment, but now all eyes turning towards B. Rians has joined the fold, but it's just him and Benji Fishy here for now.
Will be a free bomb plant for Gen.G. But Heretics, they've been so good on retaking. And they have the time. They're so patient with it. But there wasn't a lot of utility invested from the side of Gen.G themselves, so they have a counter.
A smoke towards heaven and a paranoia towards the panel. Patatech falls.
The nade as well.
The flash almost makes it easier, and Texture's gonna drop him. Gen.G on the precipice of another pistol. Texture gets 3 as Gen.G gets to 10.
One nih guys.
And they actually bought Texture that ghost. Someone on the side of Gen.G bought him that ghost, so he had light armor. They understand that he's feeling it. They understand that he's on fire.
I mean, give the tools to your stars to succeed.
He didn't even need it.
And that's exactly what Gen.G do.
17
apa
and
nih
8
Gen.G, ya?
upgrades to a Phantom in armor.
Hebat loh.
Giving full support to the main duelist of their squad. Understanding how important it is for him to get going. Something they couldn't figure out on the last map. And now, Woot punished by 3 sets of utility Meteor.
Pushing his way forward, he got his one. But Heretics again, seeming like they'll end this round and just a whimper. What a shot. So much for whimper, but it's still just not enough. You still have 2 rifles you have to reckon with.
Cover going out. There are sheriffs on Heretics, and we've seen them do some funny things with these guns, but what was that?
The joke is all Gen.G's now.
I'll find you.
They're the ones hitting the punchline. Gen.G get to 11. Heretics will be on a gun round. And it goes without saying, if they want to close this series here, it has to start with this round. They have to win this.
The replay of that util bomb. Insane.
One enemy remaining.
Feels good moment for Karan.
He hasn't really had to do a ton.
And look at the buy from Gen.G as well. Everybody has a gun that can be very deadly. A 3-1-1 split. Slow C default. But a fast B clear from Meteor. Playing with complete confidence right now. And he's about to face Woot head-to-head. Takes him out.
Woot barely stood.
The last 3 rounds of this half, he's been just getting obliterated. No chance whatsoever. Headshots, utility, you name it.
Gen.G are going to try to rotate back A. Boo's pretty close by. As soon as the smoke goes down, though, and the wall goes up, he's got to understand, yeah, there's presence on the other side. He will find safe passage away.
Cover going out. But the problem is, A side is completely open. If he gets pushed off of this door and bomb goes down.
No, that was the big problem.
What?
That was a safety he had to find.
Maybe Gen.G overthinking things, but they might actually catch Benji Fishy out of transition. He can't connect. The trade.
He got his one. Almost gets a second. It's messy, though.
They're going back
30
again.
seconds left.
The triple pump fake.
Around the world. I mean, they've touched spawn like 4 or 5 times. It feels like. Actually, only 3, but.
Patrick Rian's in a high-low. Locking falls. They're fighting back at this thing. They've gotten it down to a 1v2 with 13 seconds left. They don't have the spike. Munchkin has to go, and he has to go now.
Iri dia.
If he gets his
Woi.
kill, surely.
Pada health-nya tinggal 5. Wow, wow, wow.
Munchkin!
Munchkin, gila!
With X-ray vision!
How the hell did he know?
Gila, Munchkin!
All he had to do was survive.
Cok.
But that's much
Wow.
easier said than done. Much easier.
Padahal dia sendiri loh, guys. Darahnya tinggal 5.
Unreal. And so
Widih.
Gen.G get to map point.
Respect, Munchkin.
No real interest in slowing the clock down.
Nembak
Really
apaan
no
tuh,
option for Heretics
Munchkin?
to do so anyway.
Luar biasa.
4 Guardians and then a Phantom for Rians. Gen.G have obliterated Heretics on Lotus.
Careful here.
They might obliterate them again on this C site. We're gonna go fade alt for fade alt.
Benar, 2-2.
The
Fix.
deciding factor might be that showstopper from Texture.
Game kelima is
Just a little bait
real.
of the door. Drags a player away from C.
Tentuan nih
With
kedua
assault
tim.
at the ready.
Baik Gen.G maupun
There's
tim
plenty of
Heritage
defense
nih
here.
guys. Luar biasa.
What's the cue? What's the go?
Final yang menegangkan sekali, saudara-saudara.
There it is. That's all it'll be. And that's going to cause the rotate. They're not even really interested in sticking around. They tap the door. They're going B, and it's going to be a foot race. Pat attack. Forced to sit back and wait. Not able to pass the lava at his feet. And look at Karen, aggressive on the swing. A bold, perhaps reckless approach. But he bides his time. He's patient with it. Understanding he can play this as slowly as he wants, or he can speed up. Rien's falls. Oh, they're all crumbling. They're all crumbling.
Oh.
Heretics tried to build fences, but Gen.G interested in digging tunnels. Boo, over the top. He gets another. Heretics not done yet.
Belum selesai tim Heritage.
These rounds are absolutely ridiculous.
Belum selesai. Belum selesai, guys. It's not over yet.
And Boo is the savior. Lakia, he did so much in the 1v2 up there that allows him to buy time and make this go down to a 1v1. He just couldn't close it out, but he had such a good chance. Boo just stripped it away from them.
The real problem here is the lead that Gen.G have is, I mean, it's so great, Trey.
Yeah, it's a little too late right now for Heretics.
But if you're Heretics, you never say die.
It's always winnable. It's the mindset you have to have as a professional player. That's why they've gotten this far.
See the spam through the orb. Benji Fishy keeping him back.
Benji Fishy.
Still plenty to go, but they're taking this step by step. Munchkin spotting one, taking a step back. They finally dealt with their Sentinel.
Oh, that connects.
And the Prowler to confirm presence. The Patek somehow staying alive, finally falling.
Nice gitu,
Rien's filling
Gen.G.
in on the space behind it. Oh, that didn't go the way it was supposed to. Bouncing back, but he saw him anyway. The problem is here, Rien's has no way to get out.
And I wonder if...
Yeah, they know he's there.
Does Meteor use this ult? Yeah, he does. It's going to force Rien's to have to swing.
Dude, Heretics, just fight. I don't know that they have a choice. They kind of have to go here.
Whoa.
And they've been baited into their deaths. Boo's left in a 1v2. 85 HP, no armor. Can he prolong Lotus? Or is Split on the cards?
Spike planted.
He's quietly moving forward. And just like that, Gen.G finds safe passage away. Tucking behind the wall and staying alive.
Real.
Gen.G
Game
obliterate on
kelima.
Lotus.
Real.
The old saying goes is that every single banger
Final yang
ends on
menegangkan nih,
Split.
guys.
And the dream of every grand
Baiklah,
final
kita
is
sholat.
to go 5 maps.
Gua sholat Isya dulu
Lo and
sebentar
behold,
ya.
We have everything we could possibly want. Stay around. This one's gonna be good. We'll see you guys next.
Okay.
Yo, what the f***ing guys? What the f*** are you doing, guys? What? What the f*** doing, guys? Hey, Patipe, are you nervous?
Now we up. Talked to guy yesterday, said it's more on the way. I done made a lot of money and it's more on the way. I done got a couple plaques and it's more on the way. I put a lot of people on and it's more on the way. Lego, popping up. If life a marathon, I got no choice but run amok. I've been sliding on these tracks, my haters need a salt truck. And it still won't melt the ice, and it's black. And I'm back, you talking down, what is that? Bro, you act like we ain't blessed or something. God ain't flexing something. If you want me on your set or something, cut a check or something. We've been bringing dreams to life like Freddy Krueger, we ain't done. I've been moving on this blind faith from staring at the sun. Just when it sound like they don't see it, let alone what it feel like. Dog, why you worried about them? Go get your own life. Counting everybody pockets like you work for Levi. Oh my, that won't get you nowhere.
I came way too far from hiding, seeking from the police. But it came way too far, my gang was sitting in the nosebleed. Praying down on my knees, then got back up, we in the floor seats. Yeah, looking at full court games, like of course we had to go steps on full course meals, now it's more on the way. Why would I stress about these bills? I got more on the way. I'ma people alone, they got no thank you. I ain't saying I'm God or nothing, but I'm Allen Iverson. When I talk about crosses, I ain't trying to break your ankles. Tell them I've been stepping for so long, I got cankles. Wanna make me mad, try to come tell me what Jesus can't do. Make me mad. But you better be glad you ain't no villain, Jesus saved. Better be glad. Everybody used to be like, what's that smell? Jesus bathed you. That smell. And the real ones always recognize me cause I'm fake proof. Every time I'm lit, I don't get bit cause I'm snake proof. Had to tell that sin, I can shake it. And I told Goliath, it's a 30, I can take it. I came too far from living dirty.
Ayy, gave me no respect. Lonely on me neck. Zeros on the checks. What did y'all expect? Been round, homies kept it holy from the lobby to the penthouse. Blessings coming ODI. I need a list now. Cause it's more on the way. Made a lot of hits and it's more on the way. I done caused a lot of fits and it's more on the way. Yeah. Oh, you like that? It's more on the way. Yeah. OMG, look what God did. 9 to 5 was putting in the work when I was jobless. Couldn't get the Ray-Bans and it hurt, but now my optics. Can't believe I take a look around, they sending options. Yeah, God bless me, I know that. Had to take the whole city, put it on my whole back. Gotta take the bros with me, I cannot hold back. And not until like 4 laps, got Jesus, peace, no Kodak. I'm moving like it's foreign me, they try to close the door on me. But like the chorus said, they start imploring for some more of me. If we back on that board and I be Jordan when he's scoring. It's a Mount Florence, still I play the tortoise. Yeah, story.
Billboard albums back to back, just thought that you should know that. But I got riches in his name that couldn't fit on no plaque. Rest in peace to the corny rap, cause I could not support that. He snatched me out of Proverbs 5 and I could never go back. Left the label, did it indie and it's more on the way. Festival inside my city and it's more on the way. Worship
After that tremendous performance on Lotus, we are heading to a Map 5. This grand final is gonna go the distance. I'm your host, Izza, and I'm back here once again with Josh, Mimi, and Kakuka. Who would have thought that we were gonna get to this point?
I mean, it's ridiculous,
Literally
right?
anyone?
I thought that Gen.G looked a little out of it after that map. Team Heretics had so much momentum behind them to recover, but on Lotus, this map continues to be such a stronghold. They have such great ideas on their defense, and they've proven some mental resiliency to take us to map 5.
Yeah, let's talk about some of those great ideas we saw as well, Josh. I knew you wanted to talk about the way that Gen.G were able to funnel Heretics into places that they wanted them to be.
Yeah, it all starts here, where they demand respect to their A fight here, and you can see Heretics never could get out of this spot with these 3 players fighting for this. And so once Heretics realize, like, oh wow, they can't go A in the beginning of the round, they start going towards C, and they run into Meteor and Karen's defense there. So this is a round where they got stuffed at A, went back to B, and now this is when Heretics try to force their way into their full setup at C.
Yeah,
So
and I mean, it's so potent between these guys, right? They have so many different mollies and also are almost always stalling enough time to get a guy like Texture on board as well to help out in that defense. It got them such a massive lead that it almost felt like a formality to close out on their attack as well.
Yeah, and Kakuka, let's talk about Lakia. And Lakia and Solar as well, because they were there from the beginning. They were the OGs on the international stage.
Yeah, exactly. And some of the amazing plays that we have seen just in this map, all this coordination was thanks to Lakia and Texture. Those combos that we were seeing being so effectful time and time again, all those A-holds, and you know, all the progression from these 2 people coming into today is massive, Mimi.
And the history is there for these 2. All the way back in Reykjavik, Solo was a player, Lakia was with him along his side, and they made it to top 3, but they fell apart at that point, went down, and then Lakia kind of disappeared from the top for a while, was benched by DRX, had a stint down in tier 2, but now he's back on a top team, made it to a final in Madrid, and has a chance to hoist a trophy now in map 5 in Shanghai, especially if he could keep up a performance like he had on Lotus.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see it because this guy has been around for so long. Like Mimi said, he's been grinding. He had his opportunity in the beginning of the game. We thought he was going to do huge things at DRX. It wasn't meant to be. But this is the thing. Looking on the other side of this, there is similar stories as well. Josh, your boy Panitek was talking about how he was considering retirement before he joined Team Heretics. And what a story it would be for him if they're able to bounce back on map 5.
I think it'd be insane. And like in their final map, they made a player swap, a role swap with HERETICS onto the Viper and Woot on Duelist. So I think that this will come down to the defensive play calling. I thought the defensive play calling from Gen.G was excellent. HERETICS needs to do the same thing here.
Yeah, I think Split is going to go crazy. Now, we haven't seen Gen.G play this map in a while because the last time that they played it was in the final in Pacific, and this map was the one that made them the 2nd seed. Losing this last map on that last best of 5 that they played turned them into what we're seeing today. They have a chance to change history today.
So the big question for everyone really, and for Team HERETICS facing up against this Gen.G team, is what can you expect? They were playing the double dive comp back in Pacific, but it has been a while, right? Not showing it whatsoever at this event. Do they stick to that same game plan? Do they change something up? It's a real wild card in this map pool, considering how little both teams have put into Split.
And do not forget, we saw HERETICS, as Josh was mentioning, changing the roles here and there. Maybe they thought at the beginning that they wanted to go with Paddy on the race, which he had experience playing back in Tier 2, but decided that Wood was better for this suit. Anyway, that was a bit ago. It was against EDG. They haven't played it ever since. Yes, they had a very, very good result, but not that much practice, and I don't think Gen.G is going to be the kind of opponent where, you know, it's going to be just easier, especially if we think about the mental of HERETICS right now. In that Lotus, they started with 3 rounds in a row, and then Gen.G comes back to life and gets all of the rounds on their defense. Right now, their mental cannot be the same as they had when we were back in EMEA on that last map.
Well, let's take a look at Agent Select here and see what we're gonna get. And yeah, what do you guys make of this?
It's a mirror comp.
Yeah.
Both teams are running double lurk. I find that like it's really easy to work attack here, even though there's a lot of defensive agents. The Viper's able to lurk B, Cypher can put some question marks at A. Gen.G's gonna have a tough time, I think.
That they may, but Lakia locking in this sky again feels like we might be going back in time a little bit, right?
Yeah.
All the way back to when he was playing this role as the solo initiator when he lost in Reykjavik. He was great on map number 4, but with no recharges on the sky flashes, his U still has to be perfectly placed to set texture up for success, and that's the same task on the other side for Riens and Woot. That rookie has got to be incredible in this map 5.
Well, it all comes down to this one final map. The Masters Shanghai Trophy is on the line. For the last time, here's Doug and Baby Bay.
Thank you so much, Jinsu. All bangers end on Split. We've got to talk one more time about what it is that they're playing for here. For HERETICS, vindication on the other side of Madrid, and perhaps the dawning of a new era of Valorant. We talk so much about how they're the future, and it seems like the future may be now, Dre.
But Gen.G, they have a chance to be the first team in APAC to win an international. So much pride on the line from both sides.
And what a story that would be.
And who is gonna represent the black and gold the best here?
Both teams looking to clean the skeletons out of their closets to exercise their demons. And what better place than Split to see how it all shakes out. Gen.G on the attack side. Mimi was talking about Lakia turning back the time and playing that solo initiator once more. What a legend he was, but it seems like it's Boo who wants to take the spotlight. Traded though, 1 for 1.
Exactly, great trade from Meteor, and that slows the round down. Nothing being used. Now a Skydog committed on the A ramp to get info that Meteor is still here. It does connect. And Woot, he wants to punish. But there's support.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't know that there's support. Oh, whoa. There's the surprise. There's more there than you thought.
Yeah, I saw 2 players at the other end right there. That's the cue for Gen.G to once more slow the round down. Karen, he already ran up in B main off the start of the round earlier, broke that Cypher cam. Now he's taking all that mid real estate.
A deep smoke, a little cover provided as Gen.G venture forth into heaven.
And an even spread. They're making the right read, the right call right now, transitioning to B. It's all up to Benji Fishy in a grand final on the last map.
Can he deliver again? The trip will catch the first. A stumbling block put before Gen.G's hopes and dreams. And he still holds the line. He's still here. Is able to find his one. But that's all it'll be with 10 seconds left. Gen.G hurried and rushed to try to get the spike down the satchel just a tiny bit off the mark. And success found. Staying slow down, Heretics will have an opportunity to rethink how they want to approach this. Avenger fourth. And a different segmented approach. Karen never saw him, never had a shot at fighting back. Texture and Meteor will crumble, they will fall. Unless Meteor can pull this off on his own, a 1v1 with Ghost in hand, 67 HP. All of the onus is on Pat Attack, and Meteor is able to get the easiest kill of his life. The Red Bull clutches, he gets 4.
4 for the Cypher. Pistol round for Gen.G. Last map of split. It started with that trade. Boo could have gotten 2, maybe 3. The double swing here, it was too much. Woo, running out of ammo. Nothing left in the chamber. And then the easy cleanup.
You gotta wonder on a bigger scale too, how much is left in the tank for both of these teams. I mean, this has been a marathon. And we thought that it was gonna end short, right? We thought it was gonna be a quick day, but what a gift this series has been.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it earlier on. The resilience from both sides. It's shown like no other. It's been quite the spectacle. As we proceed to this anti-eco, a B main default. No cam being broken though, so a late tap of that from Benji Fishy will give the cue for Heretics to rotate more players towards A. But he's not using it yet.
Like it's an accelerated approach towards the middle of the map.
There it is. Taps the cam, gets info, no one's B main, and the rotation set in. Heretics, although they don't have the gun advantage, they could get ahead of this.
A Thrifty in a situation like this would be ridiculous.
It would be absolutely ridiculous. And there's an Omen flash here as well.
They're ahead of it. They're here, they've arrived. They're gonna try to dig their heels in.
It's a really early nade from Woot.
Do they try to flip back again?
I think they have to, they know.
Oh no, Trey, they're committing. The satchel out, the flash forward, and Texture cracks the side wide open, but Woot's on the counter. Meteor pushing forward. Benji Fishy getting the best of him. But a 1v2 now. Can he upgrade a weapon? I don't think there's anything that he can find. So he's gonna have to push forth with the classic. And he's dropped before he even gets a chance to fight back.
Texture is not slowing down. Perfect satchels into elbow, catching 2 members off guard of Heretics. Yeah, the stack was there. Yeah, Woot tried his damn best to try to even it out. And they did that. They made it costly.
30 seconds left.
Nice shots from the young gun.
Crispy little one tap from Texture there to close the round. To get 3 to his name, to get 1 step away from his ult. In round 3. Such a ridiculous advantage.
This is that conditioning from the previous round. Taking B main control once again. Testing the waters, testing the one way.
That smoke is tough though, man. There's no real way to challenge that.
Yeah, it makes it so awkward. They can see a sliver of you spam where they think you might go.
So they waited out, or at least they tried to. It's refreshed.
Yeah. Good job so far from Heretics denying that rocket. That was Gen.G's plan, and they've thwarted it completely.
You know, Gen.G have more than one attempt at this, though. More than one take. So they rotate back A. And lo and behold, it would be Benji Fishy who's challenged once more. Trips and cages, cameras, full surveillance.
Here come the lineups. This should get most of the trips. So Benji Fishy, he's gonna have to rely on his cages.
Both cleared with 1 nade, Ridiculous, and now the rollout. Texture getting high ground, trying to find comfort behind the screens and drop Benji Fishy for it. Texture will not be denied. As he finds more, ult on mine now. I don't know, the Heretics can find a way back into this one, Dre. Not this round. We've seen 5v3s, but it's been a long time.
They're not even going for it. They've conceded. They've thrown in the towel on this round. Texture is an animal. From last map to this map, he's been a rising star.
An attempt at hunting will ultimately net nothing. I can't imagine they'll hit the timings to get there. So it seems like, barring something spicy at the end, well, of course it would be re-ends, wouldn't it? Choosing to swing into that. Whoa, easy now. You want to keep those. He will survive. The weapons will be carried over. And that's a big win for Heretics, given how the rest of that round went.
Yeah. Texture completely obliterating the site players, living here with the satchels over the top, gets the info, predicts the movement of Benji Fishy, and then the follow-up kill onto Woot. Woot just couldn't quite connect those shots. Texture punishes. And that'll put Gen.G on 3 rounds up. A scrappy buy from Heretics. And it looks like it's going to be a full A hit with that lineup nade again.
They found so much success here, but they do have 4 rifles. There it is, the rocket invested. They're scattering. There was only one here, though. Benji Fishy falls the flash over the top. Meteor trying to play his time right. Gets one for it. Re-ends a bullet between his eyes. And hope sinks away. Another disastrous start for the number 2 seed from EMEA.
And another explosive start for Texture onto that A site. Boo, I mean, he kind of wanted to go for it, but now he can't. That smoke denies any possibilities of getting back into the round. Such a nice read from Gen.G, such nice prep to deal with those trips. That nade is clearing out every single one of Benji Fishy's trips. You might see him rotate over towards that B site now or have to use more passive site trips, maybe a nat setup, something of the sort.
Yeah, he has to. He's not getting any value there.
And I mean, Texture had full confidence that that rocket was connecting. That's the level that he's playing at right now. He fires it and he's instantly looking at heaven. I imagine we're getting the replay right here. Look at this. He just knows. You're dead. Already ready for any type of backup. Yeah, Meteor doesn't connect on the first, on the re-ins, but Munchkin with these cold shots. Nice, precise aim.
Bagi is still popping off across the stage as Gen.G are up 4 and as Heretics call a timeout. Tough spot to be in if you're Heretics, but I think, yeah, I would imagine a lot of the conversation is how do you get more value out of Benji Fishy? How do you get more value out of his setups and his utility? Because right now, they're getting thwarted and bested by one person.
Yeah, one set of utility. And I mean, there is follow-up utility, don't get me wrong.
Sure, sure.
But it's not even needed. And in a match like this, the last map of the series, it's all or nothing.
What a beautiful trophy. What a beautiful scene. What a beautiful set. And for one of these teams, dreams will be actualized. And for the other, this will be the source of nightmares.
Yeah. The Gen.G, they were fighting their own demons in this actual series. I think they probably thought it was going to be a 3-0 as well. Looking at the map pools, the 2 map advantage that they had.
Nade forward, satchels up, Texture in.
Such a pace.
Forget about the attempt at fighting back. They take it so quickly. Benji Fishy down here. He's got a sheriff, but he has no health. Right off the bat, the Sentinel crumbles.
They're just running Benji Fishy down at every site he's been playing so far. And they're not slowing down whatsoever.
I mean, they have no reason to. No resistance has been met.
Go get him.
That feels like the first real advantage, I guess, if you want to call it that. It's just been tough sledding. Gen.G get to 5.
And you spoke about it. What is left in the tank? Heretics really need to dig deep here because Gen.G, they've gone the distance before and it didn't go their way. That experience in Madrid, it's showing here.
I mean, it changes teams. It changes players. And let's be perfectly clear, Heretics are no slouch to that as well. Yes, it was on domestic soil, but the lessons that you learn are the same. And they walked away on top.
Another fast rollout. Another sight hit potentially on Benji Fishy.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Meteor, the lurk, was caught.
That's going to cause a speed up. On the side of Gen.G, they have no info, they have no space.
Yeah, but where do they speed up to? I mean, they still have these trips they have to deal with.
They know
dog.
destroyed.
Yeah. There you go. The first one goes down, but you haven't cleared Benji Fishy, not yet. Texture over the top, and Woot drops him. Investing more util as Lucky is on the swing, and Patatek's on the green.
Down B.
A response from Heretics.
There are the signs of life. When the IGL steps up big, Boo, getting that pick on a Meteor. That was the start to a snowball in the round itself. Opens up the opportunity for Benji Fishy and Woot to use this Raze rocket.
Spike down B.
Securing the round. And right now for Gen.G, you are up 5-1. You've been here before in this series. But when Heretics start winning rounds, it comes in masses. First it's 1, then it's 2, then 3, all of a sudden it's an even score. What can they do to make that not happen? What have they learned?
The conditioning is so nice that you try to invest utility to clear out the trips that aren't there. But Gen.G found a little bit of space. Karen over the top. The Guardian Angel for Gen.G. Patatek and Benji Fishy are forced to rotate back over to the site, but they're so outnumbered at this point. The spike is planted. The guns are down. Patatek. I mean, I guess the rest of your team has some money. I guess maybe you go for it. Flash in the face, Meteor falls. Benji Fishy getting active, creeping forward, Karen down. But the trade timing is just too nice. Lakia gets his 3 Seekers online as Gen.G get another round.
Karen had a wild round right there, Doug. A double TP play. First onto the double box in front B, then behind in rafters. This was ridiculous. This is taking things into your own hands. This is playing to win. No fear at all, no doubt in his play.
There's no room for it. There's just not. Gen.G gets a 6. But Heretics have got a lot to fight back with here. 4 members on light armor, sure, but look at the ults. You can tell for Gen.G, the approach has become quickly get to B, try to clear out any Cypher utility that might be there, and then play the rest of the map.
And if you looked at the map earlier, the rotations, I mean, there was Patatek and Woot already ready and willing to come there to the rescue for the anchors on the site. That's how much fear Gen.G have put into this team of Heretics. And leaving one here this time to break the info utility, that's gonna keep a couple players here. I mean, Woot, he doesn't know what to do. He's jumping back and forth. If you looked at the mini-map, he's staying B heaven, and now it's gonna be an A-hit. The difference maker here is that site trip.
I've got your trail.
Has Benji Fishy one more. Seekers online and invested forward. Patatek had no chance to fight back.
What an entry. And now the map opens up. A counter. Seekers from the side of Heretics, but they don't know what's going on. They have no info.
Texture's 9-4 right now, 1 away from his ult.
My eyes are down. 30 seconds left.
Swing out forward. Heretics are here. It's just Woot. Benji Fishy playing backside. The trip's a little bit of safety, a little bit of cover, but now Texture understanding where his prey lays. And with 10 seconds left, they've cracked the thing wide open.
10 seconds left.
So patient, so precise, waiting for the double swing. Texture, he crept up forward. I mean, they knew off of that satchel of Woot that there was a player in elbow. And they're not making mistakes this time. They're swinging together. The fundamentals are in full effect.
The mistakes that we saw on Ascent gone.
A distant memory.
And obviously they looked so clean on Lotus. You wouldn't suggest that they would rear their ugly heads once more. This has been as clean as you could possibly ask for Gen.G.
One enemy remaining. My ultimate is ready.
They're hunting. They're playing everything by the book. Everything is considered.
The economy is just insane right now for Gen.G. They can probably buy for the rest of the half. Every gun taken away from Team Heretics. And it's a scrappy buy, if there even is one.
I've got your track. You take a look at this one more time. Yeah,
he's on a different level.
It's just ridiculous.
That's that slow creep up I was talking about. Yeah. And then the wide swing, changing the angle, the perception of how you're actually swinging.
Dre, it really feels like Heretics have lost control of the situation. Second timeout burned, much like we saw on Lotus.
Just nothing left in the tank. Nothing at all. Not even a fight.
To have made it this far and to fall this short would be devastating. And so Heretics will have to dig deep. They'll have to find a way to turn embers into something more. The problem is the fire of Heretics has been cold for a long time now.
Texture on this map. He's been the one holding the torch for his team, leading them to victory so far. A 7-1 half. And 4 ultimates online. It's gonna be another B main approach. This time, Karen is gonna lock down mid. So it's a little bit of a new look. That B main room, but no satchel to follow up this time. And it's a change of pace. Gen.G have been putting on so much pressure, and this time they just freeze off the rip of the round.
Apakah Gen.G
Waiting
juara?
for any type of aggression from Heretics. Waiting for any info. That flash gets no value, and the punish is there for Texture.
What a beautiful call.
Munchkin.
I know exactly where you are.
He's been so great this entire tournament, this entire year.
They have so much of an advantage right now in every single facet of the game. They're perfectly okay with investing a Cypher ult right now.
And as all this sound is being made water, Munchkin just walks out B and he's gonna call them back. Yo, I got B, guys. It's as by the book, it's as clinical as it could possibly be.
Boo taking the head off Alakia there will keep things interesting, I suppose, but again, min-maxing the orbs, getting everything they want, and then some.
30 seconds left.
This call, I mean, this round from beginning to end was a beautiful display of calling.
The only thing Heretics have going for them right now is hope.
And hope dies last. But it's on. I mean, it's on a lifeline. Paranoia out. Heretics all huddled up in heaven, waiting for the flash to come through, waiting for the swing to connect, and yes, a couple of kills have been found. But is there enough time to make this happen? A 2v2, Munchkin and Karen trying to stabilize the situation. Boo will fall, Patatek's left alone. And much like has been the case this series, Heretics get to the doorstep of something special, and the door is slammed in their faces.
Just everything right now. Gen.G are on the top. They are supreme.
What a performance from Gen.G. What a performance from Texture. 11-6 right now. Excellence embodied. Greatness personified.
They've been raining terror all over on this map. The last 2 maps. One of the most dominant split attack sides I've seen.
And there might be more to come. The need for a gun round success has already started off on the wrong foot.
B is completely busted wide open.
There's no real chance to even fight back. They don't even have a chance to try to deny the hit. Because circles are being run around them.
Welcome to my world.
What a pit. Look at how deep that goes. It doesn't get much easier than this. A little bit of pressure will be alleviated, yes, but another 2v4. Another seemingly hopeless situation. And another punctuation mark for Gen.G.
We're here
Doug.
because we're the best.
Last time Gen.G played this map at an international, they were on the receiving end of an absolute cinema. Now they have created their own. All bases covered.
Hit you with a little more history. The last time EMEA as a region lost a best-of-5 on international soil to another region, it was in Iceland. That was so long ago. And now Gen.G have the opportunity to do something really special in a number of different ways. Another change of pace. Another ridiculous call. And the doubt that creeps in.
Oh my gosh.
For Heretics.
It's a terrible feeling. You're already losing 9-1, and these guys are playing this slow. It's kind of like rubbing dirt in a wound.
Cage triggered.
And now a confident call to arms for Gen.G as they turn their attention towards A. Perhaps the first time they'll be able to fight back, as there is some presence here on the site, but you don't really have the guns to do it.
If Gen.G transition into B heaven and use the showstopper, I'm gonna lose it, Doug. Because that would be the perfect call.
Cam's cleared and Rians has to give some of the space back up, but and you can tell it's such a miserable spot to be in because you want to try to fight back. You want to try to make something happen.
30 seconds
There's
left.
the rollout. Texture pushing forward in the pit now. Oh, he's going to get dropped. The fuse is extinguished as Patatek gets 2. No joy. Meteor will fall as well. That's the round they win. MasterCard Thrifty for Heretics as they get their second round on the board.
Last round before the switch.
Gen.G decide to fight fire with fire in that round, using the showstopper to try to catch off Patatek. But that sight trip, that little change, it finally gave some value to the anchors of that A site.
What a snap from the kid.
Good work.
Come on, please.
They gotta win anything. They gotta win every round they can get.
You heard Rians there trying to will him across the finish line. Trying to force some fight. And in the 11th hour, they have to find a way to convert. Heretics in such a tough spot here. Rians has his Seekers. They're already seeing him satchel forward back towards B. BenjiFishy's doing the best he can to keep him back. They've drawn the paranoia out though. Now Gen.G can flip the map once more.
That Omen ult is gonna have Team Heretics guessing about where he could be. That's why you saw BenjiFishy clearing out all backside. They know now that he's not on the flank.
The smoke will cover the trip. If Gen.G want to go forward mid, they're gonna have to deal with that. The truth is, they have a couple of ways to go about it as well, should they choose to do so. And meanwhile, for Heretics, as you see a couple of members anchored on B, eyes rise to turn tides. They have to find success here. Meanwhile, what a call and what a play from Munchkin. If he's able to get anything, any kill here, it's massive.
30 seconds left.
And he very well might do so. He's challenging Woot. Meanwhile, the hit on the other side, the paranoia is out. Boo keeping the line.
Spike down.
Holding them back. And yeah, they've dealt with him, but you didn't consider BenjiFishy. 13 seconds left. The spike is out of reach. Munchkin thought he was the one making a play. He was the one drawing misdirection on the other side of the map. And he was wrong. Heretics will get to 3.
Not over yet.
What a close to the half for Heretics. And now they're hoping for that 9-3 curse.
Camera is destroyed.
Good off angle from Boot. Good bait setup to secure the last round of the half.
One enemy remaining.
They may need more than a curse to do this, because those don't seem to exist on international soil on the big stages. Yinsu, take it away.
It seems like Gen.G here, they're not going to let what happened in Madrid happen to them once again. Mimi, Kakuka, and Josh, a beautiful start for them.
It's been absolutely incredible from them thus far. They come out onto a map that they have barely played. They change their composition. And Josh, the prep has looked on point. I mean, these A executes were excellent.
I mean, this nade is so key to breaking all the trips, allows a dive path forward to this spot here, and he was able to predict the spot, the reposition for Benji Fishy here.
And time again, it was so overwhelming for the side of Heretics, the way that Gen.G was putting pressure around the map, the way that every single piece of their utility had a very, very dedicated purpose. A 9-3 half on, as you're saying, Mimi, a map that they shouldn't be as comfortable, and 4 rounds away from that trophy.
They are, but for Team Heretics, they have been on the receiving end of so many comebacks, getting reverse swept in the EMEA final, losing an 11-2 up against G2. There have been so many moments where they have let it slip, but they've given themselves an opportunity at the end, winning at least 3 rounds. If they can get this pistol, there's still a chance for this team on this miraculous run to lift the trophy.
Josh, imagine you were that coach. What would you say right now to the Heretics, to los niños, to make this comeback happen?
I would tell them believe in the game plan, believe in each other, win this pistol and make it happen.
All right, you heard it from Josh. Believe in the game plan, believe in each other, win this pistol, and maybe Heretics will have a chance. But Gen.G, they lost once already this year on the international stage in a grand final. Doug and Baby Bay, something is in the air here. It feels like they're not about to let this one slip again.
That certainly seems to be the case, Yinsu. I mean, this is a brutal spot to be in. Heretics have to find some success here. We often talk about how important pistols are. This very well may be the biggest they have ever played.
You imagine they're gonna want to convert this round. And for Heretics, the pressure, it's unsurmountable. If you make one mistake, Gen.G can run away with this thing. They can wash you like they did on the last map, 13-4 on Lotus.
They can wash you like they did in the first half. You've got to believe, though. And honestly, comebacks of this magnitude don't start in the server. They start in the mind. They start in the mental. All of the questions around how much is left in the tank for Heretics are coming to a head. They're demanding an answer right now. Heretics deciding to turn towards B. The paranoia is out. All the utility to try to obfuscate what their approach is. And Woot and Benji Fishy able to get a couple here, but Meteor and Lockie on the trade. 3s apiece. Everyone is here. As again, utility becomes a problem, and Woot cannot convert. Gen.G will get to 10.
Meteor the anchor. The longest standing member of this roster, remember that. 14-7 on this map of split. He's been biding his time, and he's looked so good on these pistol rounds. They can feel it. It's so close.
I get it. I get the pop-off, man. That pistol almost secures it. But be careful. When you think it's in hand is when things slip out of grasp, out of reach. Heretics choosing not to invest very much. 4 sheriffs, excuse me.
But
and
no
a stroll up mid. Woot's gonna be there on the trade, but Texture dropping 2. Overwhelmed by the swing, but Lockie is the cover. Lockie is the backup, and Lockie is down 2. We warned about this. We warned about the possibility of being so close, yet so far, Boo will fall. Now Pad Attack and Rians have to turn their attention towards B, and of course, they're already here. Karen's waiting, posted up like a watchman backside.
And he's been so cold in these moments when he's anchoring. He doesn't panic when he gets double swung. He commits to one of the kills, but he's moving.
He's alone here and gets them both. Gen.G will get to 11, now 2 steps away.
It got scary. But Gen.G secured the round. They brought it back. 2v3. That opener from Woot. That was so clean. The double swing here. Texture. And Lakia, they just couldn't connect. But Karen, he's been so stable all year. Such a great addition.
Kamera aman? Aman apa nah ya? Aman.
Fans can feel it.
Heretics is feeling a lot of the pressure here too. Look at how aggressive an approach this has been from Gen.G to start the round. What they were looking for, they have found. The orb in the hands of Texture, 3 away. And just like that, things are forced to slow down.
No sky flashes for Rians. Woot is gonna have a hard time entering. Boo is the only one that has a flash available for his side of the team.
Look at that triple stack on site. They're all here.
They're so ready to fight. They know they baited out both flashes.
Crosshair's trained. And this doesn't feel difficult for Gen.G. They've handled this so well.
Oh, but they're backing off.
They've left Lakia alone.
An opening for Heretics.
He's on an island.
No way.
The flash on the other side of the cage. Oh, but he doesn't swing. Wisely takes a step back, but makes his presence known. Meanwhile, can Karen strike from the disciplined corner as they roll out onto the site? They're spotting one. And now they know. Gen.G are trying to make this thing work. They're trying to fight him back with the inferior weaponry, but with 13 seconds left, they've got to go. Heretics have no time to slow this down. Meteor's so far away. Of course, it's Texture to potentially secure the round. The spam's not going to connect.
Enemy remaining.
Patatek's left alone. Can Patatek deliver? With 8 bullets to his name, he too will crumble.
What a nice setup on site. Playing up in the beginning, baiting out a bunch of utility. Woot, he entered into that site with no flash and got punished for it. Lakia running him down like a dog. And the double swing. Finito, chef's kiss.
That close. 1 round away. No timeouts to call. Is this where the Heretics story ends? And is this where Gen.G's begins? Looking to put the finishing touches on this now. Yeah, it's gone the distance. It's gone all 5. But you wouldn't believe it with how Gen.G have played these last couple of maps.
Wih, match point.
Heretics
Gen.G gila.
Happen here. The paranoia as they try to satchel out into heaven, but they've only gotten to mail.
Satchel out.
Texture forced to try to hold the line. Satchel traded. A nade as well. Karen falls. Lakia on the snap. Benji Fishy dead. They're trying to work their way in, and they cannot. And now it's on to Boo. He has the swing, and it's time to kiss the ring. Denied, no more. Deferred, no longer.
Gen.G juara. Wow.
Stand on top of the world. They are your masters, Shanghai champions.
The crowd has been silenced, but the Valorant gods have not.
Waduh, penontonnya tuh. Gila. Rame gini di Korea.
History as the first team in APAC to hoist an international trophy.
A final bow from Heretics. They arrived in Shanghai as niños. But man, have we seen this team grow.
并大放异彩。现场的观众，请将掌声送给5位契约上海大师赛冠军GEN.G。
Air mata bahagia untuk GEN.G.
Madrid.
HSK, when he made this roster, I didn't think he believed it would go this far. To get second in the first international and now get first, to one up the mastermind behind this roster, giving players a chance that were counted out. Munchkin, the last piece to the puzzle, the IGL. What an amazing moment.
Amazing. Respect GEN.G. Respect Team HERETICS. Good game, well played.
You think about how much something like that means for a player like Lakia. What a story he's had. Munchkin too. Texture. I mean, you go from top to bottom, and there's a little morsel in every single one that you know is this the sweetest they've had, man.
Oke guys, selamat untuk GEN.G dan nice try untuk tim HERETICS ya. Sampai sini dulu watch partinya, nanti kita lanjut watch party grand final MPL ya guys ya. Saat ini skornya 3-0 ya untuk Onyx dan juga EVOS Glory. Stay tune dan sampai jumpa di pertandingan Onyx lawan EVOS. Sampai jumpa di pertandingan tersebut.
From start to finish, being down 2-1, losing the